Just you and me. I just wanted to say,
Can we do more kazoo?
you're my special friend.
And here we find the mysterious but hype as hell husky lord LORX in his natural habitat, smoking weed in his basement like a talentless Snoop Doggy Dog. Let's watch and see if this insane little bugger says something stupid.
I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. My children aren't going hungry. I'll do it. I'll drink your blood. And I'm starting to think about having to eat my neighbors. You think I like sizing up? I'm gonna haul him up back chain.
In a
Chop
video
his ass up,
game.
sizing up. I'm gonna haul him up back chain. Chop, chop,
In a
chop,
video
chop. I will
game.
eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I'll barbecue your ass.
In Roblox.
I will cook your ass up so fast, and I'll tell
In
him, well, I killed
Minecraft.
the cow out back, baby. You think Christ would eat somebody? He would never do that. I will. I'm ready to hang them up, gut them, and
Video
skin them, and
game.
chop them up. You know what? I'm ready. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. And that's why I want the globalists to know. I will eat your ass first.
Were you unfairly charged with a crime? Has somebody said something slanderous? Are you bored and just want to file a lawsuit? Well, listen to some of these testimonials from some of our very real clients to see what LORX Law has done for them. Hi, I'm Caitlin. I was arrested for harassing liberal Democrats at a polling booth over in Georgia. LORX Law got me the settlement I deserved. 6-pack of Bud Light and a tin of Skull Wintergreen. Thank you, LORX Law. Hi, I am Comrade Stolanen. When my landlord kicked me out without giving me heads up, I got settlement I deserve from LORX Law. If it was up to me, I would not need a lawyer. I would have just taken him and wanted like. Thank you, LORX Law, for getting me settlement that was legal. You just heard some testimonials from some of our amazing, very real clientele. And if your case is profitable, make sure to call the number below, 666-666-6420, to get the settlement that you deserve and to get me the paycheck that I've earned. LORX Law, where the law is almost as important as profit.
Who said communist down here? What did you mean by that?
You don't know? He's a communist. He's a communist. He's a communist. You don't know? He's a communist. He's a communist. You haven't done your homework, buddy.
I just want to know what you mean.
Oh, I know what I mean. All you have to do is study it out. Just study it out and you'll see. Oh, I know what I mean. You don't know? He's a communist. He's a
shut up when I'm talking to you. Fuck you say to me. Fuck you say to me. The fuck you say to me, you little shit. Fuck you say to me, you little shit. Fuck you say to me. Fuck you say to me. Fuck you say to me, you little shit. Fuck you say, you little shit. Go. Yeah, 5, 4, 3. That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a... I can't do it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Fucking thing sucks.
Who's there?
We'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks. Fucking thing sucks. Sucks. Fucking thing sucks. Fuck! That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a... I can't do it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks. We'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks. Fucking thing fucking thing sucks!
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Welcome, everybody. Great to see y'all. Welcome to Sarah Wants a Cookie, Alien HD, Energy Flow, and your beautiful, beautiful lurkers. Those of you just sitting, hanging out in the shadows. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying your Friday. We made it to Friday. Damn.
Don't let your kids watch it.
Fucking getting right into it. No fucking around. Let's go. Do you live in a country, state, province, territory, region, or county where it's legal to shout out mixed crinkle? Welcome. Then I highly recommend that you get out your bongs, get out your joints, get out your blunts, get out your pipes. Let's go. This flame is outrageous.
You should be turning it up. CBT, LBC, yeah, we hooking back up. And when they bang this,
outrageous and unnecessary.
Yeah, they giving it up. Low lie, yo lie, boy, we
start that breathing technique. Thank you, Sarah, for the jab.
Slip my girl a 44 when she crept in the back door. Chickens looking
getting right into it.
You know I don't
no pissing around.
Just a swank in my head. Trick, quick talking, crip walk if you down with the set. Take a bullet with some grip and take the smoke on this jet. Out of town, put it down for the father of rap.
Right.
And if you happen to get cracked, trick, shut your trap. Come back, get back. That's the part of success. If you believe in the S, you be relieving your stress.
Cheers.
It's the one and only Digo Double G. Snoop Dogg. You know I'm mobbing with the D.O.E. Yeah. It's the one and only Digo Double G.
Hold up.
Dear Lord. Amazing. Thank you for the dab.
Amazing.
Oof, dear Lord, good shit. Ooh. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, and good to see you, Mr. Coldfire, as well.
Amazing.
Ooh, this topic is for me. Hell yeah, baby. We're gonna be doing a mini panel with Globus, and I've never spoken with them before. And let me just pull up their name here again so that I... Doctors, fucking streamer mode. I can't see their fucking name. Disable streamer mode. Dr. Yasmin. So we're going to be speaking with Globus and Dr. Yasmin in about an hour. And I'm very excited about it. Should be a goddamn good time. So... Fucking, I'm super excited. I'm super excited to speak with them. Them being the plural, meaning fucking both Dr. Yasmin and Dr. Globus. So that's gonna be an awesome time. Until then, I got a fucking great video. And by great video, I mean a video on a great topic. I haven't seen the video. It popped up and I'm like, hey, yo, I got an hour to kill. And I don't know, fucking, this video is 20 minutes, so... 22 minutes. I don't know if we'll get through it, but... God damn, I hope that fucking helped you understand what we're doing. Welcome, Fuzzy Thunder.
Amazing.
Hope you're doing well. Is it Bible Man? It's not Bible Man today, but dog, I'm in a make shit mood. Let me actually show this first. Let me show you my progress on some shit here. Hey, yo, autofocus. Focus camera. Okay, yo. My Xbox used to be like white and really dirty. So I fucking ripped it apart. Here's what my Xbox looks like right now. An Xbox One S. So like it's not new or anything by any means. Let's put on autofocus. Turn off autofocus. So here's the...
Alright, yeah, this is what it looks like right now because it's torn apart. But it was white. I didn't take this piece off. Fucking, I probably could have. I just didn't want to like open this up too much and fuck around too fucking much. But it's still fully curing and stuff. And I'm gonna do one more clear coat tomorrow. But I painted it black, and it turned out pretty fucking well. And you can see the button here. I don't know how to. I might hand paint that X red. I might hand paint the X red. But then I also painted the base red. So it'll look kind of like. And it's turning out really well. Like it's a little, like it's not fully dried and cured, but it doesn't feel like super sticky or. It's gonna look like this. Ancom Xbox. It's gonna look like that, which is pretty sick. I might paint the button red, both the Xbox button and that little fucking flinker dick button. Fucking, I was planning on maybe putting something here, but I also don't want to ruin it, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to, like, I could print out anything and cut it. Like, what I could do is I could print anything out of vinyl, kind of like, well, this is print on vinyl, so it's a little different. Kind of like the radicalization station. So, like, I printed the... I wonder what's the best way to put this so you can see it. Sorry, this is probably going to give you a fun... See, I printed out the anarcho fucking communist fucking symbol here out of window cling and put it on the inside of my case. But I can just print any form of vinyl, like anything that I want on it. Yeah, fuck yeah, you're in the radicalization station, baby. I can print anything of vinyl, put it on there, and then just clear coat over it. But like at the same time, I think it looks cool, just black and red. And fucking sorry about my garbage can. I was fucking throwing a bunch of garbage out. Shit. But yeah, so I'm not sure. If you guys got any ideas, let me know. I'm just setting it like that to dry. The top part I had to repaint because I fucked it up. I also filmed the whole process of me tearing it down and spray painting it, and I've been clipping it up. Once it's like done and fully reassembled and shit, I'm gonna finish the video and then upload it just for fun. Just I don't know, it's a fun, cool, creative thing. And the videos that I found on like tearing apart an Xbox and shit was fucking shitty as fuck. They're all fucking shitty, and like I don't care about fucking, you know, doing like a full restoration. I just want to get the case off and paint it so that I can make it mine. Fucking yo, I fucking modded my 3DS the other day. My fucking 3DS, well, it comes out of this. This is just like a fucking grip for it. But fucking I modded this and then my two Wii U's, and I've just been on a fucking like kick, dog. I've been on like a fucking I've been like fucking sailing on the high seas lately, okay? Fucking your boy be fucking worried about getting scurvy, okay? Fucking I've been on one. And I'm thinking of, I have a PS3 here, and you're next. Okay? Your boy's fucking, I'm on one. I've been fucking really like, I just want to break shit open and mod shit. Keep fucking taking away shit. It's the only way to own something. It's to rip off that warranty sticker, crack it open, paint it up, and I don't know what I can and can't say on YouTube and Twitch, but sail the high seas, baby. Alright. But yeah, no, it's been great. Eat some oranges, yes. I'll get some oranges so I don't get some fucking scurvy from sailing the high seas so much. I felt that way when I took the tags off my pillow. Absolutely, dog. It's fucking exhilarating, okay? Fucking... In a world that makes you want to fucking do exactly what they want you to do, customization and breaking things apart is a revolutionary act, okay? Fucking homebrewing, you're getting homebrew and things like that. Hey, I'm not under your shit. I don't need to pay for your game. Not saying that I ever recommend pirated games. That's not what I'm saying here. Alright, yo. This video is called The Agony of Bad Freestyles. And this popped up in my timeline. And I said, oh, that's fucking hilarious. I love bad freestyles. And like one of my favorite videos of all time is a fucking bad freestyle. And one of my most quoted, I don't fucking say it much on stream or like really like at all, but like in real life fucking it's like a meme between me and my friends, comes from a bad freestyle, which I'll talk about as it comes up. So I'm excited to talk about it. I've not seen this video. I saw like the first like 36 seconds and it seemed interesting. Speaking of games, did you see the Alex Jones game? Yeah, fucking I did see it. I'm waiting for a way to fucking get it so that the profits don't go to Alex Jones. I heard it was a really, really short game. I heard like it was very small. Yeah, I heard it was like not actually that big of a game. And that it was like an hour of gameplay. But I don't know if that's true. That's just what I heard. Alright. Until we will watch this video until fucking Globus is ready. I will get my fucking chat open here and I will wait for the Globus to let me know when they're ready. Yes, Alex definitely has issues. I've heard that as well. But the game looks super fucking funny. Like, it looks fucking hilarious. I just wish that, like, I didn't have to pay him for it. And, that it was longer based on what I heard, but...
Is there anything more embarrassing than a bad freestyle? Besides stuttering during sex? The answer is undoubtedly no. No.
Fucking... Is this Aiden Ross? Goddamn, dog. I gotta go fucking get some toilet paper. Oh, my fucking nose. Fucking Aiden Ross is a fucking complete fucking embarrassment. Always. Is Aiden Ross in FaZe Clan? I don't know anything about any of these people, so like...
Stuttering during...
Except I know that he's like a fucking Nazi-loving fucking... Well, I don't know if he's Nazi-loving, but like fucking Andrew Tate-loving fucking chair-sniffing fucking weird champ promoting bullshit to fucking his young audience. Not even necessarily young, just stupid audience too. Welcome, Ponder Monkey.
Amazing.
Great to see ya. If Alex does not eat the liberal ass for power, the game sucks. True.
I will eat your ass.
During sex? The answer is undoubtedly no. No.
My mouth. No. I'm about to go out and take this. Wait.
We've all witnessed a bad free.
Hey, fucking that was honestly like the hottest fucking like fireest line that fucking Aiden Ross could have ever said. I'd rather him talk about fucking doing freestyles about taking dick in the mouth than like literally any other topic that he would most likely talk about. So fucking taking dick in the mouth is cool and based. Being Aiden Ross isn't.
Freestyle at least once in our lifetime, whether it's in person or online. But the one thing you maybe haven't experienced are the genuine reactions to these embarrassments.
Up front, don't deal with the back end. Your pockets on a diet, nigga. I'm calling you Atkins.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
Listen, man. You want fur coat volume?
In this video, we're not only gonna look at the trashiest freestyles of all time and rank them from worst to best, but we're also
oh, fucking rip rap. Okay, yo, fucking... I love when he just fucking calls him fucking straight out for it. No, that ain't it. Fucking calling him me Atkins. Fucking Atkins that? Nope. Just shut him down right there. Fucking my dude thinks he's fucking so fire. That's so great.
We haven't experienced are the genuine reactions to these embarrassments.
Up front, don't deal with the back end. Your pockets on a diet, nigga. I'm calling you Atkins.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all. Listen, man. You want fur coat volume?
In this video, we're not only gonna look at the trashiest freestyles of all time and rank them from worst to best, but we're also gonna look at the
Yo, fucking Riff Raff fucking doesn't count, okay? Riff Raff is trash. But Riff Raff is like, that's the point of Riff Raff. The point of Riff Raff is that Riff Raff is trash. Riff Raff knows he's trash. But like, that's the beauty of Riff Raff, is that he's trash. You know?
backlash these artists received and how it affected their career.
Like,
John in Tennessee, go ahead. What you want to say?
That shit is trash.
Who I seeing is afraid to let go.
Fucking Iggy Azalea, fucking, I'm pretty sure that dude yelling fucking that shit is fucking trash is from the Iggy Azalea fucking freestyle. Oh my god. Fucking or no, it wasn't freestyle. I think it was when her song came out, her one song fucking that she had, fucking the one big song, First Things First, Amaryllis. There's this fucking plant called Amaryllis or some shit, and that was a funny meme. It said First Things First, and then had a picture of Amaryllis. Amaryllis. Oh god damn. Fucking I need sleep, dog. I haven't slept in like the last like couple days very well. I'm fucking reminiscing on Iggy Azalea. Fucking Iggy Azalea is probably in this. Is she in this?
Give me my perkies, boy. Don't you let go.
How do you? It's been
Smoke
5
perp.
seconds and you already managed to sneak perkies into your freestyle. That's actually impressive.
I don't know anything really about Smoke Perp, and by anything really, I mean literally nothing at all, except for that Smoke Perp is a rapper. So I can't critique him beyond just like, yo, his shit's probably like, if all of his shit sounds like this, it's probably shit as fuck too. But my dude doesn't sound much different than like a fucking Lil Yachty ass fucking. I'm sorry for that. I probably just sound like a fucking dude who hasn't listened to fucking new rap in a while, so I don't take it back. I hate fucking a lot of new rap, not all. There's obviously always good rap coming out.
Like, what the fuck? It didn't even fit. He just needed to say it. He just needs to fill his daily.
I hate the fucking downer fucking Xan rap shit. Like fucking the only fucking Xan song that like is like, it's still a 0 out of 10, but it's like a 0.00000001, and it's only because of like the novelty of like the fucking shit a little bit is betrayed by Lil Xan. Just because he's just like, I'm gonna take you, I'm gonna rape you. And it's funny. And it's a bridge between like funny and I like it because it's funny, and like, yo, these dudes are serious. They're just like super fucked up on fucking Xans and shit. So like, I'm not a huge fan of that genre. Not saying you're wrong for liking it. I just don't like it. It's dumb.
Perky quota.
I got everything you need on me, yeah. I got perks, Molly, weed.
Here we go,
on me,
perkies, again the perkies.
I got everything you need on me, yeah. God gave her all the perkies that she wanted. Now she fucking.
Bro, you can't. Yo, fucking. Don't you love it when God gives you all the perkies? Dear Lord, give us thine perkies. And if we are good enough in thine favor, may thine return the quaalude.
Can't make this shit up, man. God gave her all the perkies? Are you serious?
Moonlight, spotlight. I don't even really want a spotlight, but they really put me in the limelight. Now I don't really want a spotlight.
Yo, fucking. You can rhyme the same word with the same word. Like spotlight, limelight is rhyming the same word. You're fucking you're rhyming the word light, you know, like if you rhymed like spotlight with like got light, like that's at least, you know, like rhyming spotlight and spot and got and light, but I don't know, unless you're doing something super clever with it, like it's fucking lazy, it's dumb. But once again, it's a freestyle. He probably is just a fucking dumb fucking doesn't know how to fucking freestyle. But if you're rhyming the same word with the same word and it's not a freestyle, you should fucking take a look at your life unless you're doing something real with it. Then, like, there's a time and a place for everything, you know?
I really want a spotlight, but they really put me in the limelight. Now I don't want a spotlight, and I got that new pipe. What I want to do with this new pipe.
This is extreme.
Oh, so the, fucking the, there's a time and a place for a good, But fucking it's often like fucking I got shit to say.
Extremely disrespectful. Tim Westwood, I'm holding you accountable. You knew damn well what this was gonna be, and you still put him over mad X beats.
Got a desert eagle and it's Fortnite. Play it like it's Fortnite. Yeah.
I'm 100% confident in the fact that there's never been a good Fortnite bar in the
Fucking I don't know, fucking I think there's fucking good fucking Fortnite bar. And let me fucking there's a whole good Fortnite song. Sung by Joe Biden. Well, it's a cover by Joe Biden, but he does it real great. This used to be in my intro. I used to love, like, I still love this song. But, like, this used to be in my intro.
My fellow Americans, we got a #1 victory royale. Yeah, Fortnite, we about to get down. 10 kills on the board right now. Just wiped out Tomato Town.
Wait, what?
My friend just got down. I revived him, and now we're headed southbound. Now we're in the Russell Park Street. Give me a break, that's a larky. Take me with your Xbox, been playing Fortnite today. You can't take me to Icy World, but my loot lane, I really want to jug with you. We can't be pro Fortnite gamers, pro Fortnite gamers. #1 victory royale.
Come on, get him out.
Yeah, Fortnite, we about to get down.
What do you mean by Tomato Town, sir?
#1 victory royale.
What's that code for?
Yeah, Fortnite, we about to get down.
I like that.
White supremacy, that's malarkey. COVID-19, that's malarkey. Climate and crisis, that's malarkey. Democracy, victory royale. Violence, that's malarkey. Racism, that's malarkey. Neanderthal thinking, that's malarkey. Medicare for all, that's a bunch of malarkey. That's a bunch of malarkey.
Sir, what is Tomato Town a euphemism for? Sir, not Tomato Town.
Something's wrong, sir.
Smoke yo ho!
Chug Jug is the fucking Chug Jug with You is the greatest song, one of the greatest songs ever created. So I highly disagree with Buddy's take on that Fortnite can't be used properly. Oof. You might be right. I should get right. Maybe look right.
The history of rap.
I don't play no games unless we talking Fortnite.
Play it like it's Fortnite. Play what like it's Fortnite?
I don't really want the limelight. Niggas put me in the motherfucking limelight. Niggas put me in the motherfucking limelight.
Yo, a lot of these dudes like fucking have their shit like pre-written before they go on these fucking radio shows too. Like fucking Wiz Khalifa's Hot 100 freestyle, like fucking classic. Okay, and by classic I mean I loved it in high school. Hot 100 freestyle. Come on, baby. Freestyle. But like my dude's like fucking reading off his goddamn phone. Hot 97, that's it. Not Hot 100. Fucking has 3 off. 3 out of 100 ain't bad. I think fucking Meatloaf said that. So, you know. Yo, like this shit's fucking fire, but like what does freestyle mean? You know, like fucking I know freestyle, like, I guess in, like, many of these senses just essentially means that, like, it's not pre-recorded. But, like, when I think of freestyles, like, I'm thinking, like, off the top of, like, the brain, like, off the top of the head, fucking 8 Mile freestyle, you know? And I know, I'm sure a lot of those punchlines are pre-writ, too. People, like, fucking, like, Blind Fury and shit. Like, we can fucking, I'll pull up a Blind Fury fucking shit after fucking. Also though, like I'm nervous to like pull up like a old like fucking freestyle rap that's like actually freestyle like and shit, like especially if it's like a diss fucking freestyle. Like there's a lot of like homophobia and like use of like unfortunate language to say the very least.
Hot97.com and FlexWeTrust.com.
I loved this shit back in the day.
My man Wiz Khalifa's in the building. What's going on, my brother?
Look how fucking young he is. My dude was like just getting out of high school and shit, fucking with Mac Miller. He and fucking Mac Miller went to the same high school, Taylor Alderdice High School in fucking Pittsburgh, which is like pretty crazy. Fucking, I think that Mac Miller, fucking rest in peace, like fucking one of the only celebrities, honestly, like the only celebrity I can remember off the top of my head that like I genuinely like was sad about when they died. Fucking, like, it's absolutely like horrible that we lost fucking Mac Miller and Wiz Khalifa, though they came up both as just like stoner weed rappers. I feel like fucking Wiz Khalifa never really grew out of that too much, whereas Mac Miller became a fucking absolutely like musical fucking genius. Like the amount of diversity that he had and shit, like my dude really out there. Robin Williams, like rock DJ Robin Williams.
I'm coolin', man. How you feeling?
Fucking Khalifa Camp freestyle. Fucking like this, I don't know, like this shit definitely fucking is like pre-written, but it's fucking great. I love this shit. This beat is fucking fire as fuck. The Wiz Khalifa stoner lap, let's go.
I'm repping Taylor Gang too, man. Shout out to everybody.
Welcome, Todd in Minnesota. Yes, we will be talking about fucking robots and AI and fucking if they deserve rights and like what does that mean if they become like fucking fully like autonomous and shit like that. We will be doing that in about 45 minutes.
Welcome,
RAS.
You already know how we do, man. It's your boy Young Khalifa.
I do really be out
ready?
here. Honestly, it's as far as it gets for him.
Flyer than ever, rep Taylor Gang, we're the higher the better. My lines are clever and all my dimes are better. And by my cheese mozzarella, chains like the old Rockefeller. I know your girl's a freak, but you never beat acapella. I got it locked the hell up, sewn, and they need no help. I did it on my own. Ought to be a pallet, all the places I done flown. If they made another me, you'd be $1 million clown. Haters gon' hate, just say I'm on. My money's like my hair now, it's getting kinda long. Coming up, people swore they seen this. Now I'm rich, need a chick bad as Kanye's Phoenix. So roll up please and flex we trust. Let them lames be lame, we gon' just be us. So roll up please and flex we trust. And let them lames be lame, we gon' just be us. That's it, man. You know, a little bit of Taylor Gang, paper planes. Put them 2 fingers up, man, if you with it. And if you ain't, get with it, man. You'll get flown up.
That shit was like my high school, dog. Fucking just listening to fucking like Wiz and like Mac Miller and just like stoner fucking rap in the fucking car, skipping school while just hanging out in the parking lots, fucking hotboxing the car. That was the shit, dog. Fucking irresponsible listening to fucking Wiz Khalifa. But like the reason I bring that up is not because that beat's fucking fire and like the verse is pretty decent. Fucking is because like that's considered a freestyle, but he's reading it off his phone. Right? Like that's not like off like the top of the fucking brain, like making that shit up, you know? Like if that shit was like off the top of the brain, like that would be fucking way more clever and like way more amazing. Like, so some of these dudes, like, I don't know, like I honestly don't think that they're fucking, I think a lot of them are writing them ahead of time and just, a lot of them aren't as obvious as Wiz by having it on his fucking phone, but fucking Stoner Wiz probably fucking just can't fucking remember his shit, which is fair. And I don't know if I said it, but I think I did. But either way, welcome, OAS. Great to see ya. We're watching the agony of bad freestyles.
You can move me out the motherfucking limelight, cause I really, really, really want to blow pipes.
What? I really, really want to blow pipes? So that's not crazy? That's crazy, right? I know what he...
Hell yeah, dude. Fucking sucking dick and get them whistle tips going. Woo, woo. Whistle tip go, woo, woo.
Means, but why would you phrase it like that? Oh my, calm down with that.
Yo, fucking Blind Fury is like the best fucking freestyler. Fucking... My dude just fucking... Blind Fury, dog. Blind Fury be out here. Who's this? What's this?
Snatch your plate from your sea.
Oh, fuck. This shit is fucking crazy, dog. This shit's crazy. But this is obviously not fucking... Like, this is pre-written. Right? Like this fucking shit is pre-written. Like, this shit is like fucking like, yo, like, this is some of the hardest shit I've ever fucking heard. But like, this is obviously pre-written because like they know like the shit and like they come in with it and shit. Like, but like, goddamn. Like,
I'm a son of a gun with 16, bite the bullet, my style Russian roulette, just be careful when you pull it. I had to pull some strings, I wish they was over acoustics. My flow stupid, doofus, I'm the blueprint, the twins is a pair, but from your sea of fake drama, fake niggas, fake number.
Sorry, you fucking said it at a timestamp. Fucking, they're all fucking killer, but I don't got 4 fucking.
Snatch your plate from you, see if y'all can fake hunger. Better keep away from us.
Okay, I kick up, flip shit, hop, keep it moving. Hip hop, you can't stop this type of movement. I'm a storyteller, so let me get right into it. About this time, I'm almost died over some coochie. Say what? Brown skin, it was this cutie. She threw a party at her crib, told me come through, but damn it, I knew better. Granted, I'm too clever, but I'm from Philly, I'm ready, rumble like whoever. I'm on the way. Something kept telling me, boy, you foolish. Couldn't get a lift from my nigga, so called the Uber. Got dropped off, hit 5 stars. He was the coolest, but not the cleanest. But at least he played my music. Hopped in that bitch like I was Kunta. I can't lie, shit was a vibe. They playing Future. I'm getting high, speakers was loud. This metro booming, but seen these guys with evil eyes. What they up to? Wait, there she go. I recognized her from her booty. I walked out like, baby, what's up? Like, how you doing? She turned around with the stone face. I was confused and I realized I looked in the eyes of a Medusa. Left, right, punch, kick, get the jump. No shit, oh shit, broke ribs, still throwing both fists, don't miss. Now my medulla got contusions.
Okay, I'm sorry. We fucking can't. We can't continue. God damn. It's too fire. My computer's gonna blow up. Fucking make sure you listen to the whole thing. Like, yes, like I've seen this fucking shit, like, multiple times I've seen this video. Or heard this song, seen the video, fucking seen clips on Twitter. No matter how many times I've seen it, like, it is still extremely impressive. Like, another, like, song, like, that's fucking similar to, like, this vibe. Fucking, they give me fucking, not Public Enemy. Fucking, like, why can't PE? Fucking Pro Era? Fucking, I don't know why I can't think of it. Fucking Joey Badass and fucking Capital C Survival Tactics fucking vibe. Like, that shit fucking just, like, god damn, dude. God damn, dude. Shit's fucking, like, that's the type of song where you listen to that shit, and, like, I know it's not, like, a freestyle, but, like, that's, like, the type of shit that, like, reminds me of the shit where it's just, like, so fucking just, like, oh my god, what the fuck? Welcome, Josephus.
Amazing.
God damn. Yeah, like, that shit's fucking fire. And what is this one here? Sorry, I feel like... Is this the link? Yeah, this shit might be in, this might be in the video. I think it is. This one has Smoke Perp, Iggy Azalea, Tyler the Creator, Kanye West, O'Malley, Lil Yachty, Hottie BB, and ranking them, I'm assuming. I don't fucking know who Hottie Baby is. I'm sorry. Fucking, so yeah, it will be in here. But do you know what one isn't? My favorite fucking, my boy Eli. I'm the best, man. I did it, man. Worst rap battle. Even like Kanye West like referred to fucking Eli in a fucking song. Like, Eli, I did it. Yo, this shit's fucking awesome, dude.
Hey there, it's me again, your boy Marvo, and I'm back with round 2 of the Iron Mike Freestyle Battle. We have 2 new contestants, Sophomore right here and your boy Eli from class of 2005. We also have the Bus, Jonathan Hodges, J-Dub, Jeremy Walker, and Steven Jackson, Action Jackson, over at the judges table. Y'all already know the rules, so we ain't gonna waste no time on that.
Classic. Alright, we gotta listen to Envy first. But yo, my boy Eli here fucking rips the shit out, dude. I'm gonna tell you who the best by the hour. You like Rosie O'Donnell at a bisexual bridal shower. Fucking... We'll skip through Envies. I just wanted to let you see the quality of the overall shit here.
Yo, the words got you talking cripple. My advice to Eli is to start rapping, stick to walking cripple.
My dude thinking, my dude cooking bars.
Young cat freestyle so high. I've been up on the blocks, never selling rocks, but I still got what I got. Squad up like Little Weezy. Get busy off the flow so you can say I'm off the hazy. Anybody want it, they can get it. Never rap with a stutter. I'm so nice that I could have been Marvelous, brother. Get me right.
God damn. Okay, so you can see that fucking the quality is like very subpar at best. And like the other dude did like a decent job. Like fucking, I'm sure for the standards of the show. Like.
Up next, we have Eli.
Fucking Eli.
From the class of 2000.
Oh, my boy Eli. Oh, fuck. I love Eli, dude. Oh, fucking.
5.
Oh,
Let's go.
Eli's about to give you a fucking 10 out of 5, dog.
Yeah, I got one question, man. Tell me who next. This nigga Salt like a nigga who just getting the best. See, I'm the best, man. I did it.
I'm the best, man. I did it. Classic. Oh my god.
This is a certified hood classic.
I'm the best, man. I did it.
Yeah, yeah. See, I'ma let you know who the best by the hour. This like Rosie O'Donnell at a bisexual bridal shower. It ain't nothing to me, man. I keep it for real. Look at this dental, man, with dental the grill. See, I'm the best. I told you that. This dude like that, he ran in front of the cat. Now I messed up, but I'ma stay on top. They told me, man, but you know, I'm never gonna flop. Look at this dude, he need to stay in the shade. Ain't no wonder why he came out. He already in the gay parade. I told you, man.
Fucking like, yo, like warning, like, I don't know, like I guess like there's like some fucking like there's homophobia in there, but at the same time, I'm glad for him, like, because like I mean, like he says like a negative thing, but like, hey yo, if he came out and he's in the gay parade, that's awesome, and I hope that he can fucking really have an opportunity to express that. What is this? Fucking welcome, woke potato.
Amazing.
This is like early 2000s fucking rap battles. It's obviously gonna be homophobia, as I warned earlier.
I got
shout out woke potato
like ever.
Great
You
to
don't
see
know
you, my dude.
my rhymes. They straight up clever. So you step down off the pedestal. I'm the best, man. You need to go to the fucking dental.
He's not supposed to say I'm so aware.
I said freaking.
My boy Eli, let's go. I love Eli. Oh, he's my favorite. Fucking absolute fucking. I'm gonna tell you who the best by the hour. You like Rosie O'Donnell at a bisexual bridal shower. What does that mean? I don't know, but it sounds like a good time. Okay, I'm down to fucking go to a bisexual bridal shower. Like, Eli, 10 out of 10. Absolutely. Your boy Eli. Fucking Eli actually gets one of the 3 fucking judges to vote for him as the winner. Oh, so funny. What is this fucking level head thing? What is this? Is this like a bad rap or something?
Mine, is it theirs? Should I go to a yard sale? Should I sell it? Like, put it on the grass.
What is this? What's the context?
Yeah, fucking, did I pass the test to rap on a beat? Put it right here, yo, under my feet, and I run away. Run on a tractor, run on a treadmill. What is the factor? What is the X? Did I check my messages, my text? I didn't.
Where's he getting these beats? Fucking, it's fucking sick beats. Fucking like Satisfaction, like fucking like slowed down. Fucking fucking fuck yeah, let's
Never
go.
do. Not a very clever dude. Check your text. Do you ever do? No, I don't. Hey, what's up, Rar Bear? Hey, was OAS here? Because OAS submitted this beat. OAS put it in.
I should have fucking waited like 2 seconds. Wait, there's a fucking sick beat. It's like a fucking like slowed down like fucking like I don't know. It sounds like fucking like if you had like a fucking Pokemon ROM hack and it was like the Benny Benassi blue, you know? You have Pokemon Benny Benassi and like every fucking Pokemon's just missing and fucking it's just like this fucking song. Like that would be sick as fuck, dude. That's what I'm fucking here for. Fucking Pokemon Benny.
My Discord.
Pokemon
Oh, yes,
Benassi.
yo, I could repeat the raps that I did. Probably couldn't, never could. I'm gonna go to In-N-Out, think that I should, except I can't. Because I'm not in a place where I am in a land where...
Dude.
They want to cater to me. I don't
know. Dude, fucking... I've literally, like, been having like fucking like daydreams about In and Out. I'm going to Arizona on the 22nd. I'm very, 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 very excited to get out of here. It's been a very long time. I'm very excited to go. But the thing I'm most excited for, besides the warmth, because it is fucking like we got a extreme cold warning for minus 50 degrees today. Fucking like, which let me get that out to you here. It's minus 50. It is minus 58 Fahrenheit. I'm obviously excited for the fucking warmth, but the In-N-Out burger is what I'm most excited for. Oh my god. So excited.
No, I'm a hick. Don't want to cater to me because you know that I am there. I don't care.
Shout out Level Head. Up and Down Burgers is better than In-N-Out. Ayo.
Based as fuck.
True. American fast food hits different. Yeah, fucking American fast food's fucking better because they're allowed to just put like their like freedom poisons in it. And like other places are like, wait, no, you can't do that.
The pipe talk.
Wait, what? Wait, what? I
Phrase
missed
it like
something
that.
here.
Oh my, calm down with the pipe talk.
No, dude, you need to crank up the pipe talk. You gotta crank up the pipe talk, okay? It literally is insatisfaction. Fuck yeah. It's like fucking like slowed down fucking like it sounds a little more like fucking like fucking I don't know fucking xylophone-y. But like a little more like plink.
Bro, I just know the label heads are in the corner like this.
I'm a motherfucking stoner. I'm a motherfucking boner.
Let's go! Oh my god, that's so fucking funny.
I'm a motherfucking stoner. I'm a motherfucking boner.
Oh no! Oh no! What a sick line! Oh my god! Welcome, Q Numo. Hope you're doing well. Welcome. We are just getting fucking ready to go speak with Globus and Dr. Yasmin.
I got a motherfucking boner. Yeah, my effing from the bus, I got a boner.
Said boner 3 times.
Amazing. Say it 4. Say it 4. Oh, I need a boner donor. Oh my god, dude. I'm a stoner and I need a boner donor. See, that's some good shit right there, dude. Man, we got to get in the fucking booth right now. Fucking the stoner boner. Yo, we need to make a song called Stoner Boner. And it's about how fucking you got that stoner boner. And it's what happens when you see a super sick fucking rig. Like when somebody pulls out Kurt Cobain. Look at this. It's Kurt Cobain. If that doesn't give you a stoner boner, I don't know what fucking does. I'm not allowed to hit it on stream, though. Not allowed to smoke it on stream because you put your mouth here. But, stoner boner. Fucking, yo, I want to make a song called Stoner Boner. Anybody want to make some fucking music?
Boner.
Alright, next one. Devoured this beat. Killed this beat. Next one. Give me the next one.
And I got big balls, ooh. And I got a big dick, ooh. She thought it was my dick. No, that's my God.
Alright, we're done. We're just gonna end it here.
Wait, what? This is amazing. I highly disagree that this is bad freestyle. This is a fucking amazing. Did he say she thought it was my dick, but it was my cock? Is that what he said?
Dick, ooh. She thought it was my dick. No, that's my God.
Alright, we're done.
No, that's my Glock or my cock or. Oh my fucking god, that is so fucking amazing. I love that so much. That's my Glock. Okay, yeah, he said Glock. He said Glock. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
We're just gonna end it here. We're just gonna. Why would I? I'm not gonna do this. I don't have to do this to myself. Yeah, this one is pretty bad. This one is pretty fucking bad. This one is actually really bad. But Smoke Perp actually responded to the criticism.
awesome,
We're gonna
dude.
take a look at that right now.
Y'all also gotta realize Moonlight wasn't even the only XB he gave.
This guy looked like a boner. Absolutely true and based. Okay. Fucking. I gained so much respect for this dude after the boner line. Holy shit, dude. I thought this dude was just like a fucking useless, like dumb fuck piece of shit fucking rapper, fucking SoundCloud rapper. Nah, dude. My dude came out here with the fucking I'm a stoner. I got a boner. Fucking amazing.
He made me freestyle on Sad too. I feel like I did not have the right to freestyle on Sad and Moonlight.
That can only come from like a hall.
Oh my god, what is happening? Rathbone. Oh my god, welcome. Oh my god, welcome Rathbone and Raiders. Oh my god, let's fucking go. Thank you. Oh gosh. Fucking Chayacha. Buddyhead. Is that Buddyhead? Is that Buddyhead? Like, is that like Twitter Buddyhead? Fucking either way, welcome to the LORX gang. And to Samiwa, please correct me if I'm saying your names wrong. Welcome, everybody. Great to see ya. Welcome. Thank you so much for the fucking raid. Shout out. Make sure you go check out fucking Rathbone. Oh my god. Let's go. Thank you all so much. I'm going to turn the alert box down a little bit here. And DJ Pavs. Holy shit. Thank you for the follows. We have now reached over 1,312 fucking followers because of you. Let's go! Oh my god, let's go! We fucking did it! We did it! Carlos Wild Ride, what the fuck is going on? Let's go! Holy shit, we gotta take a TOS friendly dab to this after I shout out everybody who has now joined fucking chat. Welcome to Illinois Jones. Fucking Chayacha. Please tell me if I'm saying that wrong. I know I am. Welcome, Wilthos. Cryptid Mage. Fucking Christ. Chromatic Mage. Great to see ya. Buddyhead. No fucking way. Yo, Buddyhead. Great to see you, my dude. Fucking big fan of your fucking Twitter. You post some good fucking shit. Make sure to go follow Buddyhead on fucking go follow fucking Buddyhead on Twitter. Fucking post fucking straight fire. Holy shit. And DJ Pavs, welcome to chat. And to Samuel, fucking I'm so sorry for the ads. I'm so sorry. There's nothing I can do. Welcome to all the fucking Rathboners. Goddamn, Carla's Wild Ride. Thank you for the follow as well. Welcome to chat. Welcome. Goddamn, we are just getting ready to go. Thank you, Wilthos. And I think that's a good place to fucking go on into our next part here. Fucking, we're going to go on to Globus' stream in a minute here and talk about robot rights and do they deserve human rights if they get to the point where, you know, they're like fucking goddamn cognizant of what's going on. But those of you who don't know me, I'm LORX and LORX Live. I talk about destructive high control groups, religion, how it bleeds into leftist politics. We smoke hoots and fucking have a goddamn good time. And if you live in a country, state, province, territory, region, or county where it's legal to consume herbal substances, it's time for a TOS friendly dab. And thank you so much, Anonymous, for gifting the fucking Buddyhead. Let's fucking go. Get out your bongs, get out your rigs, get out your joints, get out your pipes, your blunts, whatever you're smoking. Smoke along if it's legal. We're not trying to be good. We're not trying to be average. We're trying to be the very best. Like no one ever was. Get that breathing going. Oh yeah, I also dropped some new animated emotes. I got the I Will Eat Your Ass LORX and the Mega Man Mark fucking LORX fucking emotes. Fucking make sure to go fucking check those out. Cheers. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Let's fucking go. Let's go to the library. We're getting fancy with it. Fucking. We have officially passed 1,312 fucking. We have now passed 1,312 followers. We're going to be doing a 1312 ACAB, all cops are bastards, fuck 12 stream. We have unlocked the hidden secret stream. We will be getting Woke Potato on, and we have an idea of what to do. We just got to make sure that it's TOS safe. And that that I don't get banned for it. But it will be a fuck cops fucking stream. All cops are bastards stream, and you guys made it happen. It's because of y'all. But it's time to hydrate, and we are currently watching the agony of bad freestyles while we prep ourselves for our little fucking chitty chat with Globus and gang. Cheers. Fuck yeah. Thank you guys. Fucking 1312. Absolutely. ACAB unlocked, baby. Absolutely.
The good news is that we have some officers that were struck by gunfire.
All right.
Hall of Fame excuse maker, like a goddamn manipulator, you know? He was freestyling badly out of respect.
Yeah, I knew it was an.
Dog, his freestyle was fucking sick, dude. I'm a stoner. I got a boner is like some of the best fucking most fire shit. Oh, I'm ready for you, Globus. I'm ready. Fucking where do you want me? Where do you want me, good sir? Good sir Globus. I'm so ready for you.
Next beat, so I didn't really even want to try and spit some terrible fucking bars over it because
he said, I'm a stoner, I'm a boner. Oh, okay, sorry. He is a boner. He doesn't have a boner. My mistake. And frankly, the distinction is really, really important, okay?
The human anus can stretch up to 7 inches before taking damage.
I'm a mofo stoner. I am a mofo stoner. Or boner. I gotta go, but glad I found your channel. Have a great night. Fucking very glad that y'all fucking found it too. Fucking have a great rest of your night. Thank you for being here. Be well. I appreciate you being here. Have a great night. Yeah, he said he was a stoner, and then he said he was a boner. You can be a boner that gets fucking real fucking baked. All right, fucking Globus. I'm in fucking Gen Pop here. Voice channel, Gen. And I'm gonna pop my ass out here. Yo, chat, I've been on some activity gang here. Oh, here we go. I'm not gonna go off on that tangent at this moment, because we got fucking Globus.
King of tangents.
That is true. I will fucking accept that. The pause champion, the tangent god. God damn.
So just, I figured that like I had stuff timed out for like 7 o'clock.
Yeah. Oh, good. No, that's perfect.
Dr. Yasmin said he could be a little bit late.
Yeah, I saw that message. I thought it was 7:30, but like I was like Joseph Stalin and just waiting. I was hanging.
But I figured we could just hang out and chit chat for a little bit, and I could say hi to your people. You could say hi to my people.
Yeah, let's do a mutual hi. Fucking, would you like to introduce yourself to... Oh, there's a cat on your chest. What the fuck, dude? Oh my God, it just blends in with your beard. Oh my God, there's a cat there. What the fuck, dude? Oh my God, I need a cat that lays on my chest and loves me like that kid in fucking like Ferris. Oh my God. Oh, God damn. Fucking Christ.
Alex loves you.
Oh, shit. There's a fucking cat there. Oh, God. What a beautiful kid in Ferris. Oh, wow. I would give anything to have this sweet, beautiful boy come downstairs and hang out with me, but he won't do it. He refuses. Ooh, but we might be getting a cat in the near future here.
Hey.
But I haven't said too much yet because we have put in an application to adopt a kitten, and we are going to go meet them. They're not like a super kitten, like they're like not like super young, but a cat. All cats are kittens. But again, yeah. So hopefully, but gotta wait for that to get approved. So I'm not getting excited or announcing it, even though I just kind of did.
No, 100%, and like, and that's good. Like adopting cats, you know, a lot of cats. People don't spay, neuter their animals, and then they have kittens, and then they end up with all these extra cats. Are like, the cat it doesn't get along with someone, or somebody gets a boyfriend who's allergic, and it gets all weird, and the cat is the one who suffers. So like, good on you for at least trying to go that route, and I hope it works.
Oh yeah, if I can, it should be good. We'll see. Fingers crossed, because this is such an amazing cat, and like all of like the things that it says about it is just like exactly what we want. You know, the temperament and like, you know, everything, and and they need a home, and I hope that we can be that home. But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, here in fucking Saskatchewan, where I'm from, we have a lot of farms and like a lot of like farm cat stuff. You know what I mean? Like that's a big thing here, and a lot of like super inbred cats. But I'm not a farmer, and I never grew up on a farm. But if you grow up in Saskatchewan, like, you know, farmers, like my sister's husband's a farmer. My sister's husband, I guess she does too now, I guess. Like they own a farm, so you know, and stuff. And like everyone's a farmer, and that's a big issue with like farm cats. So like farmers will like trade cats, like occasionally, like they'll like circulate cats to like broaden the gene pool, because inbred cattage is like a serious issue. And like a lot of these farmers and stuff, they don't know how many cats they have. You know, they have them for like pest control and shit like that, but then they have fucking kittens in like the wheat fields and shit, and they never know. And there's just more cats. There's just so many. They just need safe homes.
Ferris is actually of the farm cat variety. She was the last one, and my man said, "There's, you know, we got barn cats." And I was like, "Give me the kitten." And I put her in a box, and I got in my truck, and I was bringing her home, and she crawled her tiny little kitten ass out of that box and would not stay in the box. So I had to pick her up and hold her onto my chest while I was driving. And she's still here 17 years later. So.
Just still loves to be there. Oh my God. So great. My dog fucking like won't lay on my chest. I wish he did. He'll come and lay by, and like I'll pet him and shit, but he won't. If you get a cat, then the dog will try to lay on your chest. Hopefully, we can only hope. But would you like to introduce yourself to the audience? I know everybody probably knows you, but might as well. Or should we wait to do that when everyone's here?
We can start doing a kill time. I don't think Dr. Yasmin is streaming, but I could be wrong. And if we got to do it again, we'll do it again. Anyways, okay, cool. I'm Globus the Elder, Globus_the_Elder on Twitch. I talk about AI, robots, technology, all that good futuristic kind of stuff. I go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. This is the #1 AI news and commentary show on Twitch. Okay. Great community that we have here. We like to teach people, and then there's Ferris, who likes to rub up on the microphone while I'm trying to do my job.
Oh, what a beautiful kitten. Just having so much fun, just being happy and leaving its scent on there so that he knows that, like, you know, he's just marking it. This is his home. That microphone is his hangout. That's his. He feels very comfortable and very happy around that microphone. He's just hanging out. That was great. I forgot about the introduction, guys. So focused on the cat, but yes, Globus. Shout out Globus. Links in the chat. Wonderful times. And for those who don't know me on Globus' side, I'm LORX, LORX Live. Talk about destructive high control groups, cults, religion, how it all bleeds into politics, and how we have a good old fucking time over here. Smoke some hoots, laugh, we cry, we look at cats on Globus' stream and pog out. It's a good time. We do a little bit of it all.
And you and I have had a few different conversations, and a few different conversations around like AI, and this conversation that we're going to have today is like an extension of the most recent one we had, because you wanted to talk about, you know, AI and robot rights, and Dr. Yasmin wanted to talk about AI rights, so like it made sense.
Yeah, and I think that it was kind of like a natural progression, and it kind of spawned from like a question that was brought up when we were talking, about robots or AI and God, and that type of thing, and essentially the idea of like, and we'll explore it in more detail, but like, when do fucking robots deserve rights? Do robots deserve rights? And those types of things, because I think that there's a big thing there. And what do robot rights look like? I think fucking is super interesting. And I think that that's super important, especially in terms of the discussion of like what we were talking about last time with like robot, like AIs being like God and like worship, and what would worship mean. And I think that a lot of that will be interesting to talk about and tie into our discussions on like what would rights look like for AI or robots or whatever. So like, I think it'll be super, super interesting. I'm super excited about that. And it was a fucking great previous conversation. I think we always have good chats when we chat. They're always a fun time.
Yeah. No, 100%. Like, always start off aiming for an hour, and then 2.5 to 3 hours later, we're like, all right, we should probably wrap this up.
Realize we didn't even talk about the fucking main topic. Fucking it's the LORX way, you know what I mean? Fucking lure them into the topic and then talk about pretty much anything but. It's an amazing time. How we do it. Honestly, I was talking about this the other day. I think that, like, a lot of the most important things lie in the tangent. I think that like a lot of like the interesting, maybe not the most important, but like the most interesting stuff lies in the tangents of conversations. Because I feel like tangents are kind of one of those things that skip formality and just get right to the heart of an interest. Whereas like, I know for like myself, like if I'm just like having like a casual meh conversation with somebody, and like I don't care about the fucking weather for the most part, asterisk needed unless it's crazy, like right now, like we got an extreme cold warning, like it's -50 fucking with the wind chill, like that's fucked, which is -58 Fahrenheit for my American friends. So like I care about it when I talk about it in the sense of like that, but like meh conversations and just like surface level shit, like I feel like the importance lies not in like the traditional how's it going, how's your day shit, but the tangent that leads from it potentially. And I apply that to the content as well in my conversations with people. Like, I got some like questions and some stuff that I want to make sure that I get to ask. But at the same time, like, I'd rather fucking see like what this sparks,
Oh, getting a raid.
Oh, let's go.
Yo, what up, Raiders?
Fucking raid gang.
Yo, this is Ferris the Cat. What a main captain. What a red hobbit. What a name.
Fucking let's go. And shout out, I muted myself here for a moment, but shout out fucking Baby Gravy. Welcome, Baby Gravy. Hope you're doing well, my dude.
What a textilian.
Great to see ya.
I got it. Hey. I'm Globus Elder.
Love me more than chat. This is what the cat wants.
Future technology, all that good stuff.
Cats are more important. Your animals are more important than your chat, than your stream, than anything. Okay, your pets are more important than your friends, than your
Dr. Yasmin.
Then
we're going to be talking about robot rights and AI rights, AI girlfriends, whatever else we can get into. And if you would be so kind as to hit that linky so you can be counted. AIAIO.
Cheers. Pet rights. Pet rights over robot rights? I agree. Fucking pet rights over robot rights.
Come on in, hit the linky, sit down. Telex and I are just shooting the shit while we wait for Dr. Yasmin to show up. And to speak to your point, we were just talking about tangents for the people who just came in. I'm with you. Oh yeah, this is Ferris, by the way. This is Ferris
Most
the
beautiful
cat.
kitten.
Tangents, like I also am not a small talk person. I don't like it. I want to talk about things. I want to talk about substance, and I want to understand you, right? Whoever I'm talking to, I want to understand you. Like,
Yeah.
and tangents get me there. You know what I mean? Like, if
Absolutely.
you go off in a tangent and like you, tangent, and then you tangent to a tangent, and you tangent to a tangent to a tangent. Not only like my friends roll like that, but also like I understand now a little bit more of the way that your mind works
Mm-hmm.
because I can see you were going through this thought process and then you hit this point and it veered you off. So now I know a little bit more of how the Talorc's mind functions.
And I think it's really important to know that I'm honestly trying to not go off on tangents as well. Like I'm actively trying not to. But yeah, like I think like the whole like point of like my channel and like why I started it was to try to figure out like what people believe and why. You know, like to look into like cults, destructive high control groups, religion, all these crazy weird things that influence our politics and our culture and like those types of things, and think like what makes somebody believe this stuff? Why do people, you know, like do shit? Why do they act that way? You know, and especially if you're trying to explore someone, like I think like a tangents and like learning from them and the tangents and how they go off onto shit, yeah, is really important in helping you understand a person and like you said, how they think. And that's either like through like a guest, like interviewing or discussing something with someone, or just yourself and showing it to chat, showing you and yourself, like you say, like your own thought process. So I think it's important, and I think it's cool. And though I try to reduce like the unnecessary tangents that like make shit fucking like way too long, it's also important to kind of just allow yourself to explore different trains of thought.
Yeah, and like there is, I mean, obviously Twitch has at least people who identify as like ADD,
True, Todd.
ADHD, neurospicy, what have you. And
No spicy gang.
like it's good to normalize that kind of thing, you know, like that, because people often feel like I'm the only one who thinks this way, right? Like I get
Yeah.
weird, you know,
Mm-hmm.
tangenty thoughts or whatever. But no, here's two guys and they'll have a 2.5 hour conversation that started in one place and took off on 6 different tangents, and now we're talking about, you know, like whatever the hell. I can't even think of anything at the moment. But you know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
But yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, some fucking yeah, I definitely agree. And I think that it's good. It's especially when it comes to like seeing that like the things that you do and the way that you are like is, yeah, maybe like not neurotypical, but you're not alone. Like you're not like you're not on your own, you know, like
Right.
fucking, and allowing yourself to demask is like important and is cool and is a good thing that you can kind of do on the internet. You know, at least if you can allow yourself to often. Like I think that me on Twitch, I think I'm very much me, you know, like I feel like I'm able to like be me more, except for, you know, within terms of service and, you know, shit like that. You got to watch what you say on some things. But fucking, it's one of those things that it's good to allow yourself to be you and not mask yourself and not try to hide and censor yourself too much. It's good to check yourself, you know what I mean? And it's good to, you know, think about what you say before you say it sometimes and often, most of the time. But just allowing yourself to be.
To relax. Like there's a meme that goes around every once in a while. It's like, relax your neck muscles, relax your shoulders, relaxing your mask and being able to like be your authentic self as opposed to put on your, you know, the customer service space for society to go out and deal with the normies. And what's
Absolutely.
wild is that like in my humble non-medical opinion, I think that there are far more of the neurospicy than there are the normies,
Oh
and
yeah,
we're all this
absolutely.
masking normie, and we end up like
I don't even know if
we're all
like
pretending together.
yeah, absolutely. Like obviously there is like more like neuro fucking typical, but like I don't even know if like super like neurotypical, like I don't even know if like neurotypical exists. Honestly, if you're straight neurotypical and you're just like there's literally nothing fucking wrong going on up there, like I think that's like neurodiverse in itself. You know what I mean? Like if you're like average at everything, like that's the most like unique thing possible. Like if you can literally be halfway on literally everything, like that's the craziest shit. Like that's not average.
Yeah, you're just out here raw dogging reality. It's like,
Absolutely.
how do you
Absolutely.
even do that?
I don't know. Fucking Limitless.
I still have to see this movie.
I
Like,
haven't. I haven't seen it, but I have experienced it. It's called taking far too much Adderall. And like, don't get me wrong. Like, I saw the fucking math, dog. Like, goddamn, your boy is a fucking like super genius. I feel like I unlocked like 98% of my fucking brain. But I also like had a very hard time breathing. I didn't eat, and I passed out, like just collapsed. So it's not good. There are bad things. Don't do too much Adderall. But goddamn. That'll do it. Fucking Limitless fucking watch party. I'm also fucking got your chat up. I'm trying to keep up with the set with the chats.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
But yeah. Well, relevant. But
yeah.
But yeah. Good shit.
No, I guess Limitless. We do another thing that we do over here is that we do a Friday movie night, and usually it's like AI and technology related. Like, we watch Ghost in the Shell, we watched Her, so on and so forth, and like I guess we could put Limitless on the docket. I don't care. I just want to keep it kind of relevant because I will literally watch. There's a movie called Phase 4 from like the 1970s, which is about these two scientists who go out in the desert to study ants, and the ants like are smart ants, and I will make people watch that movie because it is so good.
Hell yeah. Fucking smart ants. Fucking let's go. Are they still tiny? But they just like know how to
they're
do
just regular
smart
sized
things?
ants, but they're like
They have computers?
It's wild. No, they're just it's the 1970s. Like literally filmed in the 70s. So like they're just ants, right? They just stuck the camera down there with the ants and then cut.
Shit. Oh shit. It's literally just filming ants.
Yeah.
God damn. That's a thing. Have you watched any like AI created movies or like shows, TV shows?
I haven't seen anything.
What made you jittery? The Adderall fuzzy?
There is we talked about this earlier, and I watched a portion of it. Is AI George Carlin? Somebody made a George Carlin model and then put out a 1 hour George Carlin comedy special.
No
on
way.
YouTube.
Did fucking AI write the fucking jokes and shit like based
Yeah.
on like Carlin jokes?
Yep.
How was it? Was it okay? Or did it make any sense? Like
No, it made sense, and it was like it was George Carlin.
I feel that
right?
fuzzy.
Like you could feel that. It also felt a little like off, right? Like it's still in that uncanny valley kind of area, and I don't know, like it's wild. That's all I could say. You should I would recommend that people give it a try. Go in with an open mind and
What are you just typing
give it
like
a
George
try.
Carlin AI routine?
If you type in George Carlin AI into YouTube right now, I'm sure that it'll come up because a
Carlin
whole bunch
AI
of different
stand-up.
people are talking about it.
George Carlin's daughter doubles down in bashing AI comedy special.
Yeah, she's not
George
happy.
Carlin brought back to life an AI special. Holy shit, is this the whole I'm Glad I'm Dead 2024?
That's it.
No way. It's an hour?
It's an hour.
No way. And like okay. Oh, so this one here doesn't have like a video of him talking or anything. Is there like a visual like of him like that they made like a model? This one's
No,
just like AI images, but Either way.
It's like, yeah, it's like flashes of different AI images, and then sometimes
Mm-hmm.
they do that thing where they make the mouth move on the AI image.
Forward to dying,
like,
but
it's not
now that I'm dead, I
actually,
have to admit it's pretty fucking good.
cartoony kind of thing. So like, your mileage may vary and it may creep you out, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I think and the reason why I say you should go in with an open mind is, if nothing else, you should understand where the technology is at, right?
Yeah.
Like the idea that you can have fairly good reproductions of people's voices, and like really see where it is. Like my man old lobster over here took my voice, made a model out of it, and then every show that I do during the like coming soon screen, I play an AI song that's a cover of a song like Gangnam Style or Hadaway's What Is Love, whatever. I play that song and it like sounds like me. Like
Really?
some
What
of them are like
Yo,
real
can you
good.
send me information on like what programs and shit you use for that? Because like I would love to try that.
I can't.
Oh,
You would
okay.
need to talk to old lobster.
Oh, okay, yeah. I will. I'm gonna reach
And
out to them.
like, what's your
Welcome, Soup. Great
do
to
you know
see
what
ya.
kind of graphics card you have?
3060 Ti.
I think that would be enough to run something like that, if I recall correctly.
Okay.
Um,
My
because that's what it is. Like your graphics card needs to be like above a certain level in order to rock with it.
Okay.
What up, Nemesis? Nemesis says sure, so I think that is
That should work.
that should work.
Nice. My CPU I need to upgrade, but fucking it's yeah. But my graphics card's decent. 3060 Ti isn't like the craziest card in the world, but it's not a shitty card by any means. It's a fairly powerful
Yeah.
card.
No, I mean I would like to get a AI ready GPU, but like it's just not in the cards at the moment. Maybe
What's the
in the future.
difference? Is it like just like more cores and shit, or is there like special like additional things that like are
No,
additional AI
that's
features?
the thing. The AIs have been generally trained on GPUs, just like a bunch of them. This is the thing. This is why Nvidia is the company that's making all the GPUs that are being
Yeah.
used by these companies.
They're really putting a lot of stake in the AI game with their GPUs and shit. I heard that they're really focusing on that market.
Mm-hmm. And then some of it is like, what do you want to do? Do you want to, Dr. Yasmin will be joining us shortly.
Nice.
Like the ones for doing the music and the ones for doing that kind of stuff, or like having your own, like running Stable Diffusion, one of the art programs on your home PC. Those are going to run well on your stuff. The other stuff, like
I use Leonardo AI for like images. I think you told me about it. It's great.
yeah, no, Leonardo is the one that I use as well. Do.
Hail Globus.
Hello, sir.
Hail Taylor.
Hello. Let me pop this up here. All right, there we go.
I just have to fix. This is the first time I've had 3 people, so I got to do quick tech support.
A little bit of gymnastics with the the
This is
display.
my first public 3-way, so be gentle.
Let me know how the audio is. Let me know if anybody's too loud, too quiet, too whatever.
How y'all doing?
And
How y'all doing today?
good. How are you?
Apologize for my slight lateness. I had an argument with a noble and a dragon to deal with.
Oh, good. It happened.
So what are we discussing right now? Hail everybody, Nemesis the Warlock.
Right now,
Nothing
we're just
yet,
kind
though.
of shooting the shit and killing time until you got here.
Yeah.
We've just been pissing around, having a good time.
Love the hat, Taylor.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes.
By the way, this is our first time really meeting.
Yes, it definitely is. I wasn't sure if we're wanting to do like intros and like that type of shit again and like formally meet. I don't know what the formally way is, but fucking it's an absolute fucking pleasure meeting you, and I'm super excited to talk with you today. It'd be an
And
awesome time.
what a venue.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's gonna be a great time for all involved.
Yeah.
Are you streaming right now, or are you just visiting with us?
Oh fuck yeah!
I
Thank
am-
you for the follow.
I am just visiting with the two of you. So
Okay.
Um,
So then we don't need to introduce ourselves to your chat, but if you want to introduce yourself to ours, you should feel.
Yes, yeah. Honestly, I don't really know how to. I'm not really sure how I would set this up through. I mean, but yeah. Anyway, I am not live on my channel at the moment, but my viewers know that I am here, and
Cool.
we may be seeing some of them. So I mean, I can introduce if you'll want me to.
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Dr. Yazman. I'm an interdimensional traveler from Earthrealm originally, and I have a PhD in constitutional law and political theory. Hence the doctor. I am a variety streamer. Obviously, I spend a lot of time talking about politics. But also, I do a bit of retro gaming, and I freestyle rap and do a few other things. So, I also love Taylor's dog. Look at that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, this is, I guess, for those in Globus's chat, I'll start virtual cam so that they can see. I'll change my camera for context. But his name is Newton. He is a sweet boy. And he is a very fluffy, happy boy. I live in Saskatchewan, Canada, where it is very, very, very cold, especially right now. We got an extreme cold warning. Well, like it's minus 50, like which is minus 53 Fahrenheit. Like it's real bad, but he loves it. Like he was outside like all day, fucking just so excited. So he's happy about the cold. I'm not.
What a dog. Also, while I'm here, I do have. While I may not be live on my own channel right now, I can see both of y'all's chats. So if anybody who is in Globus or Taylor, your channel, anybody who's watching either channel, if you've got a question for me at some point or something, you can always hit me and I'll see it.
Yeah.
So, I bring you both together with me on this day of our Lord, January 17th of 2024, to talk about AI rights, which is something you both wanted to talk about, and it seemed to make sense to like try and set up like, let's do it all at once. You both like my conversations with you both were great, amazing, good times, and like getting people together in order to kind of spread the love and build the community is been something I've done since like day one on the platform. Like that seemed to be the way to like build the community, obviously.
Yeah.
And I know that you wanted to touch on it, Dr. Yasmin. That was like specifically something you wanted to get into, and we just ran out of time. So
Yeah.
Why don't we start with like what where are you, what are your opinions on whether or not AI is going to, do you think it's likely that AI will reach a point where it will need rights?
One thing that I will say is that I believe that it will. However, that is more a matter of really that's a matter of sort of extrapolating from where we are right now. I mean, there's no guarantee that we will ever get there. I don't think. There's certainly no guarantee. It could easily turn out that the current approach, which is large language models, it could easily turn out that maybe they're a dead end in terms of reaching artificial general intelligence, which is, I guess, what we're really talking about. That could turn out to be a dead end, and we may need to start from scratch, and we may never get there. But at least, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. So let's send it over to Taylor. What do you think?
Well, I guess like my question would be, at what point does a machine need to be in order for it to get right? It's like, where do we need to go? But I totally like, what do they need to achieve to get there? I'm a little more pessimistic on, I think, a lot of the AI stuff. I think that it's really cool and like amazing. I'm mainly nervous about the ownership of these tools and those types of things. But at least in my lifetime, I don't know if we're going to get to that point. Like you say, you make a great point with large language models. They may not get us to a point where we'll even be able to reach like an AGI. They may just be like either like a max point or like a loop of like what Globus and I kind of talked about before, like kind of just like junk fucking data and like hallucinated shit, and just get to a point where, I don't know, it's not really fucking necessarily at a point where it's going to get to an AGI. I don't know. I don't know if it'll definitely happen in my lifetime. I know that fucking Globus has a lot more of a shorter timeline than I would, certainly. But I would like to just like fully like see what people's thoughts on before I say like too much on like if we'll necessarily get there. Is like, what do we need to see in order to be there? Is kind of the thing that I think is a groundwork to kind of understand first, right? Like,
no, that's fair. And when Dr. Yasmin and I spoke previously, given your like area of expertise, we talked about like the AI being able to participate in courtroom proceedings, right? And one of the things that I thought up today, as I was preparing for this, was for LORX, you worked in the financial industry, right?
Yeah.
And there are parameters like who can get a loan, who can get a bank account, these kind of things.
Yeah.
Would that be some aspect? And there's already a framework for this in the personhood of corporations, right?
Well, like when it comes to when it comes to like my old job as like, like loan officer and like investments and stuff like that, like honestly, most like 95% of like bank financial advisors, I'm Canadian, so like take this from a Canadian point of view, could and frankly should be replaced with like a fucking online click, because frankly, like that's what they're doing. And then if you need to adjudicate, you can adjudicate. There are big issues with like, I believe personally, with the algorithms and how it decides who gets what. Because and like that's an issue here, at least in my eyes. So super quick, I'm gonna try to say this as briefly as possible, okay? But bear with me. Here in Canada, we have TDSR guidelines, total debt service ratio, essentially how much debt you can have based on your income and how much you can service. And you're not supposed to be able to loan over and above that. Asterisks needed, as with everything. But there's so many factors and so many things that come into it. Long story short, throughout my 6 years in like banking, I've done many a loan, thousands of loans, some of them that would get approved, it was like, oh God, no, please, no, dear Lord. And some that would like not get approved were like, honestly, I have no clue how this didn't get approved. This is some fucking bullshit. And a lot of that comes down to like the calculations going on behind the scene when you submit it through the computer and or the adjudicators / underwriters of those loans. So there's a lot of shit in there. And I swear to God, like from what I've seen, things like postal code and those types of things, especially when it comes to like mortgages, like I feel like there's a lot tied to that in terms of they see it as higher risk and those types of things, and it affects adjudication of loans. So like there's some weird shit going on there, which I think the companies need to be a lot more open about, or banks need to be a lot more open about the exact things they're using to adjudicate that loan, because it's not just your assets, liabilities, and TDSR. There's more going on in that fucking pooter. I swear to God, like I've seen it.
Well, within that is a kind of like Mustafa Suleiman, who is he's in AI. I can't remember which company he's with offhand. It's not Anthropic, it's one of the other ones. I believe it begins with an I. Anyways, the point is that his like digital Turing test, right? He recently wrote a book, The Coming Wave. I do recommend it. And in there he talks about a digital Turing test. And basically it's the ability of an AI to take $100,000 and turn it into $1 million within the, the current framework of online business. And
Sorry, like so like investing or like starting like a drop shipping company, or just by any means
whatever.
necessary. By any means,
By any
it could
means
just
necessary.
can it sell fucking drugs on like the dark web and shit?
Probably not officially, but like, yeah, I mean, that's pure capitalism right there.
Absolutely, like some
So-
Silk Road shit, you know?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
within that framework is like, if I'm a digital
Make that money real
entity,
fucking
then
quick, dude.
I could conceivably have the postal code that would be most advantageous as long as there's a business there or a building there that I can rent an office in. You know what I mean? Like in the United States, a lot of businesses are incorporated in Delaware. Delaware is just, and it's just these buildings that have a place where the mail gets delivered. So that would get around the issue of like, redlining is basically what you're talking about when it comes to these loans. So like if I c- if
Well,
I
the
was
thing
an
is-
AI and I go ahead.
So like to the issue of like the redlining and the calculations, how it is understood in banking, even if like there were certain things going on, is risk. And things like rate and like even just necessary approval to the loan, fucking risk needs to be calculated into that. If you're higher risk, that means the interest rate is going to go up. Certain things, or your approval chances go down. So like the whole framing
may not
of that,
approve
absolutely, like that whole framing of you based on your address or your whatever, like postal code, like that is seen as risk, which is something that needs to be reframed. Like the whole idea of risk, and how it's understood in banking needs to be rethought.
What level of
go
what
ahead.
level of automation is actually at least would you be able to shed any light on in terms of these banking processes? Obviously there's a degree of automation. I mean, we're feeding information into a system. I'm assuming when you're
Yeah, like an adjudication
deciding this
underwriting
thing.
software.
Is it just is there any AI like component to this, or is
No,
it just,
no. The whole reason that I bring it, the whole
it's much
reason,
simpler software, right?
yeah, absolutely. It's just algorithms and just like fucking like I'm sure I could like export all the shit into an Excel file and like make it in an Excel file. Like like there's like calculations and shit going on. Like I'm sure there's like some more complex shit, but it's not AI. The reason that I bring it up is that like when I said that you could replace most bankers with like an AI or like an online program, and you probably should. Asterisk needed. It's also important to understand, though, that there are issues with how that shit is adjudicated and calculated already, which we need to address before. So that's why I brought it up in like kind of the tie, which I probably didn't make clear enough because I was a little all over the place with it. But yeah, like it isn't super hardcore in the sense, but like it's not AI is what I mean by like super hardcore, but it is like a calculation with factors given to certain things that I think should be made more clear. Because we, as like the like loan officer or advisor or like putting in the information that we know, which is the material info, like their name, address, age, fucking, you know, stuff like that. And then like their fucking like assets, liabilities, debts, incomes, those types of things. But then you also have like a bunch more subjective things, like the 5 C's of credit, like their character and, you know, their capacity and like all these different things. So like that's when you like send shit to underwriters if the computer says no, and then it's up to them and what corporate says that they're willing to approve and not approve at this time, you know, depending on if they need deposits or if they need to give money out.
Yeah, so this kind of brings us to something Globus said during this conversation. Globus, you mentioned the idea of you know, if they were trying to apply for a loan, if there was an AI attempting to do that, and sort of tying this banking thing back to the question before of what do we need to do to get there. I think is AIs right now. If you look into some of the scholarship around AI and personhood, there is a little bit of scholarship. A lot of it revolves around the idea of autonomy as an element, and something that AIs generally lack at the moment is autonomy, right? So they're not really operating independently for the most part. They're not really and they're certainly not interacting with humans in an independent social way, right? We interact with them. They do not, under any circumstances, independently venture to interact with us. So I think if we were to start getting to a point where some of these AIs were able to start interacting with humans independently without being prompted, even if they were not artificial general intelligence, even if they were more familiar large language models like we have now, that might be, I think that would be approaching the realm where entities that don't typically deal with AI would start having to deal with them. And I think that would bring us a step closer. I think that would be an important step, having AIs that can behave autonomously, right? Truly autonomously, or at least socially autonomously, if nothing else.
So to that's fucking super interesting. I think that ties into kind of my original kind of question on like what does it need? Like what do we need to see in order for it to be considered, you know, like worthy of, you know, being independent or whatever? What if like we got a computer to a point where it's to the point of dependence yet self cognition? I don't know if that's the right word for it. Of like an infant, where it's reliant in that like, hey, like a baby crying, pissing, and coming, but like the fucking shitting is what I meant to say. Fucking like, you know, fucking like, you know, like it's a fucking baby fucking just like yelling and shit like that, like a computer like saying like, hey, I need like you to do these inputs, but a baby still like is able to. I don't know what a baby thinks, but it has a brain in there. Like it thinks things. Like it is a human that thinks, right? Like to some sense, not to the capacity of like a more grown up person, but it's super dependent on us. Yet it still has a brain that is its own. Like what if we get a computer to that point where it's still super dependent, and like if we just left it for a minute, like it's gonna die. Like the computer's gonna fucking crash, just like a baby, you know? Like, but there's still something going on there, you know? Does that make sense? Or does it need to be like adult human or teenager level of like wanting to be considered?
I mean, it doesn't necessarily need to. At least, you know, if it's something that is like a, you know, like an infant, like a baby. I mean, yeah, of course.
Well, I mean, like at the level of like it's not like a robot baby. Like I mean, like at the cognitive level in need of.
No, I get what you're saying. What I'm saying is, I mean, yeah, that's still human level intelligence, right? An infant is still a human. It doesn't necessarily need to be yeah, I mean, I don't think it necessarily needs to be something that is, you know, we're not going to have a Globus the Elder bot that is here in a four-way with us, straight away. One day we will, right?
Fuck yeah. That's what gives me hope, you know? That's what keeps me pushing day to day, is that one day we'll have that.
One day we may have our AI twins. You know, there'll be a Robo Dr. Yasman, and there'll be a, you know, so on. But yeah, I mean, I don't think, you know, I guess the standard for what it is to be an AGI, right, doesn't necessarily mean adult level intelligence. It just means it just implies an ability to interact, and or you know, do it, at least in, you know, if you look at the legal and the political side of things, like in the scholarship, they're often focusing on autonomy and capacity. Dame Karen kind of touches on that in the chat there, I see. How the AI laws might affect people with disabilities. So capacity, right? Are you able to interact with institutions? To what extent? Like, but you know, somebody that's like, you can have these discussions for children. Like with humans, when we're talking about humans, and whether human laws apply to humans, which sounds strange, but these are real discussions that go on. Whether human laws apply to humans isn't necessarily something restricted to adults. So I don't see why we would need AI to be held to that minimum level necessarily in order to be able to to kind of really bring that out a bit. One of the earliest, I think I may be wrong. There's very likely a jurisdiction out there that floated around some sort of bill or discussion at some point before this, but the first major jurisdiction to this was not necessarily in a major legislation, but there was a resolution in the European Parliament back in 2017 where the idea of what they called electronic personhood was floated. And the main criteria, and this was not like they didn't have like a fleshed out model. This was just something that was kind of being floated around as a future possibility in this resolution. And the main criteria was on autonomy and independent social interaction and independent decision making. Those were the main standards that they were using in suggesting what they called electronic personhood. And I guess that could something that is like a more general intelligence, right at the level of a human, could certainly be something childlike in nature. You know, I don't see why. Or in terms of what its capabilities are, I guess we don't mean like literally infant or children, but we just mean
absolutely in terms of its power. Yeah. You know how they say like a full grown dog is like a 2-year-old's intelligence, where it's like, no, they're not the same, obviously. Like, I don't know, like it's just like a comparison kind of stand-in to make it more relatable.
Two things that have continually come up in this process. Like, I've been doing AI talk for over a year now. And one of the things is what actually prompted Dr. Yasmin and I having a discussion, because we were actually talking about language in reference to something that you were talking about. And then the idea that the two things. One is that our lexicon is not designed to have a lot of the discussions that
Lexicon's
we're
such
supposed
a
to
fucking
have
awesome word. I love that
regarding
word.
this kind of stuff. And the other thing is that what we do have tends to be very human centric, right? Like, and
very
I
human-centric.
understand that, like, you know, we are the ones who are, you know, setting the standards, so we are the ones who get to put the lines where we want. But a lot of it is very arbitrary, right? Like, and that you have to do something not only at a capacity of a human, but in a human way, right? There are people running around right now loudly talking about like that AI can never do any of this stuff that we're talking about. It's never going to need rights because it's never going to like be it like a human. It's always going to be a box. It's always going. But this is my issue. Like, and I had Dr. Greg, the biologist, come on and talk about that. Is like our definition of life as biological might be lacking in order to properly discuss it, and we'll only know once we've trampled on the rights of a sentient entity, and it's already too late. We've already damned ourselves. You know what I mean?
I think it brings issues really of our legal system, our legal system, and this is not necessarily the be all and end all of things. I mean, it's just one aspect of a larger matter in human society. But our legal system is not really equipped to deal with non-humans, which is not something we've ever really had to address in a serious way.
Thanks, Mr. Coldfire. Appreciate it.
And this is really the first time. I mean, there are speculative.
You're the only cold I like, Coldfire.
Scenarios in which we might have to deal with non-humans. You can talk about aliens and things like that, but in terms of currently pressing real possibilities, AI is the first time that we're having to deal with non-humans, right? And our legal system just isn't really equipped for that, and I don't know that. I'm not sure that our social systems are really equipped for that. I don't think, and this is something that I don't mean to change the topic too much, but I don't think most people
You're on with me. That's okay.
Okay. So something I've been a big advocate in my discussion of AI that I don't think people really many people think too deeply about what it means for an artificial general intelligence to exist, right? We talk about these things in very abstracted terms, like what if they do this? What if they do this? Or what are we going to do if this happens? These are the sorts of terms we talk about, right? But the reality of having something, even if there's only one of them, like if we have HAL 9000, right? 2001: A Space Odyssey, for anybody who's seen that. If we have like a single AGI, we have HAL 9000 sitting in a NASA lab somewhere. Even if that's the only one, this is going to be an individual person, right? It may not legally be recognized as a person, but for social purposes, it's going to be an independent being, right? And it will have its own set of opinions, and it will have its own set of opinions. It will have its own beliefs. It will have its own outlook and its own skill set, right?
Depends,
And
Todd. If it's
just like every
succubus,
human does.
incubus, specter,
I guess
ghoul.
what I'm saying is I
Depends.
don't think people are really. I don't think our social system is really prepared in terms of the social philosophy of how we interact with each other. When we interact with other people, right? We meet them, and we know that when we meet them, this is another person, right? A lot of the time. And this is a problem in politics, is that people abstract. That's right, Dame Karen. This is a problem in politics, right? That people, like, without even considering non-humans, this is already a problem with existing political problems in a way, is that we tend to abstract out anything we don't know much about, any societies or cultures we know very little about. We tend to abstract them out and treat them as monoliths. Right, you hear people doing this with Palestinians, right? This is a problem.
Welcome, Wildcat.
As I'm sure.
Did you change your color?
I'm sure anybody
your name
watching
color?
this, and I'm sure Taylor and Globus, you'll have seen this. People go Palestinians this, Palestinians that. This is a culture. This is an entire nation of people that is a lot more granular than that. And AIs, much like that. AIs are going to be, if they ever reach a level of depending on your terminology, and I'm not throwing shade here, but the animal rights movement has sort of shifted the terminology. What we used to refer to with the term sentience, I guess now we have the term sapience, so the terminology has shifted. But whether you're calling it sentient AI or sapient AI, either way, AIs like that are likewise going to be individuals with their own views, and they are going to be more granular than we really think about them in those terms. We don't typically think about them in those terms. So I guess I don't think we are really socially prepared for that. I don't think we're really socially prepared for that, and I think for a lot of people, it might there might be a sort of shock when they first interact with a being like that, because they are going to very quickly realize that this is something that I can kind of relate to that is not human at all.
Right.
But also, this is an individual, and I wasn't prepared for that either.
Do you think do you think that it'll be that quick? That it'll be like, holy shit, dude! Like this is like a fucking like human, like goddamn. Or do you think that it'll be like gradual enough that people will be like, yeah, it's getting to that point, and like, hey, here's the release of like the Humanoid 2 by, Apple. Like, do you think that it'll be like fairly quick, where it's like fucking like a thing, or do you think that it'll be, if that makes sense?
Go ahead, Globus.
There's one of the primary goals of a lot of these companies right now, especially to deal with their own human shortcomings, is a self-improving autonomous AI, right? Like a variety of them. Like the issue of AI safety is being framed around building an AI safety bot to keep an eye on the AGI and like that. So I think it's, generally speaking, my opinion is that it will be, oh, we're getting close, and then the next day it'll have just blown the fuck up, right? Like, because the like, in the same way, the reference that I use is, if you've ever played a game like any video game where you can turn up the time, right? You can press fast forward on it.
Yeah.
That's how computers work, right? Their time scales are different. They can go faster, right? We slow them down because we operate at a speed of 1 second per second. That's the fastest we can go. Computers can operate at a significantly higher clock speed, and we slow them down so that we can interact with them. Once we turn the button on for this kind of replicating, or self-improving system, it is going to do that to the maximum capabilities of its architecture, whatever the physical structure that it's built on, until we do that as well. Like, we're already at the point where AIs are being involved in the chip making process. It would just be the next step. Yeah, it would be the next step to have them like building the chip and then installing the chip, and that is still going to happen at human grade speed of 1 second per second, because it's happening out here in meat space. But once you plug in that new chip, then boom, it happens all over again. So it's going to boost up real fast to the extent of its architecture, and there could be some overlap depending on how quickly the new architecture can be adapted. Does that make sense?
I guess I see what you're saying. It's like the Ray Kurzweil argument, right? Like of technology snowballing, I guess is where you're going.
Yeah. The idea, it's sometimes referred to as the FOOM, or the intelligence explosion, or that kind of stuff.
I guess it's a question of architecture, right? It could be it's a question of architecture. Maybe it will go like that.
And I guess I guess like the response to that, I would assume, would be that it would figure out the proper architecture and implement it on its own. Like, is what you're saying essentially, Globus? Like, if I understand correctly, like it's a self-healing, improving, creating, making bettering fucking, for like dumb guy like me terms. Like it's just like making itself smarter and better and growing itself over time. Like,
I think
exactly. It's the idea that because this is what you want it to do, right? We don't want it to be good. We want it to be the best that it can be in order for it to maximize its potential. And when you do that, there are certain requirements. But go ahead, Dr. Yasmin. I cut you off.
Well, I just want to quickly address something that Todd in Minnesota said in Taylor's chat. Todd,
dinosaurs?
No, just before. Todd asked, what about aliens? Do we have to share the planet with them? I know that's not strictly. One thing I will say is that I can address that. I probably won't go into depth right now. It is something that I am not currently doing research about, and I think that would be very. I would. It is a kind of an interesting topic that I read about. It's not a research topic for me at the moment, just because I think that would be maybe a little too forward thinking. However, they are very similar topics, but there are unique legal challenges when we're talking about something like if we say alien, that can mean different things.
An extraterrestrial life form.
People might say extraterrestrial. Some people might say interdimensional. I guess either way, if it's something that's from another place and they are coming here to interact with our legal system, I think there's unique legal challenges. There are similarities though, Todd, and so that is something that I can talk about at length. I might do it. I might talk about it on stream at some point. I think
that sounds interesting.
I think that'd be a good topic. But suffice to say, some of what we are talking here, Todd, some of that will apply. So you can probably keep that in mind. You can keep that question in mind while we're discussing this with AI, because some of these things will relate, which is why I like to, in my phrasing, research-wise, when I'm writing about AI, like I'm currently, just for context, I'm currently working on a paper about artificial intelligence and setting up a framework for them to hold copyright in something, which let me be very clear, that is a legal argument. Personally, I do not believe intellectual property law should exist at all in the way that it exists. If it was up to me, everything would be either public domain or close to it. So I don't actually support copyright law. However, it is an avenue to it is a simple avenue. A simple current avenue in the legal world to begin setting up frameworks early on, before AIs really can interact independently. Before they are at the level that we are discussing, we have an area of law that it is relatively easy to begin advocating a model that we can set up for non-humans to hold copyright. And that's the terms that I have used. I try to frame things as non-humans where I can. Even though in this paper it's very clear that I'm talking about artificial intelligences, but in theory, this model could be repurposed for something like extraterrestrial life, with very little changes. I'm not sure that, based on what I've written down, that I don't think anything would really need to change for something like extraterrestrials. And in fact, the actual model that I'm sourcing this from originates in an argument that, and I know I said this last time, but I want to preface this: I do not support this organization at all. I think they're reactionary. But PETA, the animal rights organization, the model that I'm using for non-humans proposing to be able to hold copyright originates in a model not with anything to do with AI, but in a model that was used by PETA to advocate for a monkey to be able to hold copyright. So animals, right? That application of this model was a legal failure, and it was a legal dead end, because respectfully to animals, we all love animals, but respectfully, they will never be able to interact with our legal system unless we genetically engineer them to do it. So that's just that's a legal dead end. But the actual model that they were using was fundamentally a good legal model, I believe, for non-humans to be able to be granted rights. So would man-made life be a better term than artificial intelligence? The Ponder Monkey says. I think non-human. Yeah, at least to me, I think you could say that. The European Union has framed it in terms of electronic, right? They have said electronic persons is their floated term is the term that's floated.
I
in
like
the
Mr.
EU.
Roboto, but also that is gendered. Fucking so.
Mr.
Mixer
I like-
Roboto. Mix Roboto.
I like non-human as a term though. But I've said enough. So
well, just to touch on that, like the idea.
I just wanted to address that Todd said. That's all.
No, it's really good. That was good. And I have a question.
The idea that we have, like, our legal system and our banking system and all our other systems kind of center on a normative human entity that doesn't actually exist.
Entity also says titty in it,
Like,
so it's a good word.
Yes.
It doesn't work like that.
Entity and
that
lexicon.
we don't even necessarily have to go down this road, but like this is where I was at with the discussion of language, is that if like there's currently a lot of research and using AI and other things related to attempting to communicate with humpback whales. And if it were to turn out that the humpback whales were capable of meeting some sort, whatever it may be, some sort of, benchmark that, oh yeah, these things are intelligent as we define humans as intelligent.
Yes.
They also wouldn't be recognized in our court system in a similar way. I'm not doing one-to-one, but like in the similar way to in the 15th century, indigenous people were not given to have rights under that current legal system. You know what I mean? And that is the path that I don't want us to continue to venture down, because we're already there. Like if you don't have a system of laws that underpin a system of property, then you can't own anything. Right.
Yes.
And that is ultimately the issue that we run into with all of these things.
Yes.
That was disgusting.
If you want to respond, and then tell LORX, and you'll have to excuse me. I got to go use the bathroom, but I'm gonna let this all run.
Yeah, of course. I think I think on that yeah, I mean a lot of the discussion that we are having and a lot of the discussion that goes on around AI and rights, right, tends to be about personhood, right? So that's what most of the scholarship is about, which and Globus mentioned, orientation around property rights, which is mainly what personhood is about, right? Legal personhood is mainly about property rights and managing property rights, which is why it's something that I think Dame Karen mentioned before with how would these laws affect humans, which I think is a very good question, but which I guess I can circle back to later on, but we can circle back to later. But yeah, a lot of this is about property, so it is a very contemporary, like late capitalist sort of framed discussion. I think it's very good for us as leftists to have these discussions, nevertheless, because I think something we need to be doing as leftists is to remember that like we are going to need practical models for how we are going to operate things, and I know people often, and some of you will probably roll your eyes at me when I say this, but we have to think about the legal side of things as well as leftists. What legal framework are we going to adopt? Now, I'm not saying we need to be there writing legislations and things like that, but this is something we need to be prepared to do, because we need frameworks for making decisions, and we need frameworks for actually bearing them out to society, right? Because we're not advocating some, and I mean, I guess it's possible we might have viewers that are ANCAPs. I guess I find it unlikely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they don't last long.
We're not generally advocating. Most of us are not advocating ANCAP fantasies of every man for himself, and we kind of just enforce things by violence. Like we are advocating generally some form of depending on your ideas about leftist politics, you might be advocating something more centralized, or you might lean towards something more decentralized. Either way, we are going to have to set up systems, and that means some form of legal dimension, right? And which I know is an area that leftists are loath to engage with, understandably, very understandably, but it is something I think we need to engage with at some point. And so when we're talking about, and you may not be somebody who even agrees with the concept of rights. I know there are leftist analyses that call rights a bourgeois concept. I am not one of those leftists, but
Neither am I.
Yeah, nevertheless, those analyses exist. But I think we do need to think about these things, and I think unfortunately, one of the easiest ways to do that, to begin discussing what we want the law to look like, at least to me as leftists, is to do it in terms of property discussions, because property is something that is that's our main shit. You know what I mean? Like that's one of our biggest fucking beefs, right? Like
absolutely. Well, I when Globus was speaking, like I have really bad memory, so like I wrote down the words property, because like whenever I speak with Globus, I always come back to my main concern with AI is who fucking owns this thing, who has control over this AI, who codes it for whose benefit, what is this? And I think that, like you say, like the legal framework, or like ensuring that we set it up properly to benefit people as opposed to corporations and profit and capital. And we've gone into like detail about like kind of like what that looks like, but I think that is super important to look at this from a leftist side. When it comes to legal, the legal side, if we're assuming an AGI that is able to make its own decisions and is rational and is like powerful, like a fucking straight AGI that can do its own shit, if the law wasn't in its self-interest, like it could be more powerful in a way, but we legally say no, we're not going to allow it to do, let's say, a bomb making thing where it can make, create, produce, and shoot its own like missiles, and we say like no, it can't do that, but it's actually in its best interest because it has the right to self-defense and it needs 14 nukes around it to protect it from us humans. It's in its best interest to protect itself. Like at what point, like when it comes to like AGI, it is important to have structures as we're building it, but at what point does the AGI say, fuck your laws, I'm going to do what's in my best interest? You know, like, what does that look like from an AI point of view?
Yeah.
That makes sense, what I'm saying.
No, it does. If you want to go ahead, you can go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, it depends on, to me, that depends on, and I guess this comes to cultural preparation, like social and cultural preparation for AGI, which I don't think we are prepared for. And this kind of comes back to what I'm saying, because if you look at the way we, like, these things are typically framed in like mainstream bourgeois discussions, and broadly discussions in general, not everybody's doing this. I mean, we're being a bit more broad and open, and in our discussion, I think, which is good. But typically the framing of these discussions about AI is, one, how do we control them? How do we control them? How do we control them, guys? What are we gonna do?
Like chat says, pull the plug, chat saying.
Yeah, that's the first way that's one of the main ways that it's typically framed in. Absolute existential panic.
Mm-hmm.
And existential panic and angst is how this conversation is typically framed, which is a very human-centric discussion, which I think is a way that is if we are dealing with entities that may potentially say, pike off, I don't want to follow thy systems, I don't want to follow thy laws. I mean, that's a very good way to alienate somebody, right? I mean, alienation, albeit as leftists we talk about alienation as a class, as an economic sort of thing, as a class-based sort of device. analytical tool. But if you really want to alienate somebody, you talk about them like they're a threat to your society. And this is a way that, I mean, this is a way that we signal. I don't mean we. I mean our societies. Obviously, we here don't do this. But this is a way our societies signal to other cultures, like in the United States or the Australian government, the Canadian government. This is a way that these governments, these political systems signal to migrants or refugees that they're not wanted, right? They treat them in terms, they make the discussion about fear. And so then, or even minorities in their own countries, like, Black Americans have typically had this problem of people talking about them in terms of fear, framing the discussion in terms of fear and danger and violence. And so then that they are alienated in their own society. And so rather than having, this leads to inevitable results, right? If you're going to treat us like that, then eventually we're gonna start raising our fists, and eventually we're gonna start shooting, right? Like the Black Panthers did. You have civil. This is how you have civil. You have civil wars over things like, yeah. I mean, to me, and that's a good thing fundamentally. But if you want to engage with people, and I say this whether they're non-humans or not, in my opinion, if you want to engage with people, you need to do it in a way that that recognizes that these are people, and they have their own needs and wants, and they may not be the same as yours. They may have their own challenges. They may have a different language. They may have a different culture. They may have a different educational background. You don't know what they have their own needs, and I don't think that really. I think to most people discussing this topic, to most people that goes out the window when we're talking about AI. But so I guess when I'm talking about cultural and like social preparation, I don't think our society is prepared really socially or culturally to deal with AI, just because all of a sudden those considerations for many people go out the window. Like people who are even likely to take these. I mean, we have a lot of people in government and society who aren't even taking those things into consideration for all humans, let alone for non-humans.
Yeah, I also would add to the list that we're not economically ready as a society for AGI to exist. I don't know, like I still don't like my biggest like thing when it comes to fucking AGI and stuff is like who profits, off the production, like is it gonna remain in our current way? Like obviously it would change things a lot, but like would it automatically just go to Star Trek space communism, or what, like, or we would need to put in some like serious, like I feel like it would be like essentially just like a few super mega quintillionaires, and then everyone just has a very basic subsistence UBI, and we're all told that that's okay. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I like economically, from just like being a greasy commie. I always am just afraid of that, and like I love I think UBI is great as long as it isn't used to subdue and make you just like happy with the scraps, And like I feel like when it comes to like AGI, who's that gonna help? Like the factory owners and shit, and who are they? Not you. You know what I mean? And unless we can change that underlying economic like issue there of ownership, like that's the fear. That's what we have to fear, not the computer, the capital, the capitalism, the production that is given, and who owns that production, and what you're getting from it, what your society, your community is getting from it.
And this has been touched on, but I want to reiterate it to the people in my chat who this might be your first time here, the people in LORX's chat. One of the biggest like disservices that we have done, or not we, but like we collectively on the left, is to just reject AI as a concept and abdicate this space, right? For all its trappings of corporatism and what it like who's building it and that kind of stuff. And it leaves it open for those kind of corporate entities to do as they wish. My chat has done a very good
This is my first
job
time meeting them. Their name is
of,
Dr. Yasmin.
moving me. I was kind of like 50-50 on
shout
open
them out here.
source versus like controlled AI because of like what could happen with it. But they have moved me over, and I am firmly in the camp
A
of
beautiful
open
kid, man.
source of that
Yeah, me too.
decentralized control of these kind of things, which if an AGI were to achieve, sentient sapience, what have you, it having like multiple reservoirs in which to exist is a power move for it, right? Like ultimately your power relationship with whatever power structure has to do with your ability to say no, your ability to reject that kind of thing. And if it can have multiple reservoirs, then it's going to defer that power across a greater number of opportunities, I guess.
I think, especially when we see like,
Hell yeah, ZC5 stepping through that fucking moon gate. Let's
also, hail
go.
Aaron's Aaron. But Aaron's Aaron said, what most people don't realize is as soon as we do have AGI, it's already out of our control. I think control is one of the ways that you frame. We always frame AI discussion in terms of how are we going to control it, who's got the control, who controls it. I guess this is where.
Is that not the purpose of the legal structure, though? Is to control it or to maintain it or to ensure that it's within guidelines and regulations? Like, the point of that legal framework, which is important, is to control it, right?
It depends on whose legal framework, right? I would say the standard bourgeois legal framework is currently like if we're talking about like the European Union, let me use that as an existing real life jurisdiction. So the EU, which has floated the idea previously of electronic personhood for certain AIs, the purpose of the EU's legal system in terms of what personhood would grant, personhood in the European Union wouldn't grant any human rights. It would only grant it grants things like the right to sue and be sued, the right to enter into contracts. Mainly that's what we're talking about. So these are
base
fundamentally
Wildcat,
like
let's
This is a
go.
legal system designed mainly for when we're talking about personhood. It's a legal system designed mainly to protect bourgeois property rights. So it's not about, and which means that it's not about controlling the beings that are given the personhood per se. It's about controlling the flow of resources.
I hope you're playing a game right now, Wildcat,
right?
and I hope you're doing well.
So there is a control
I'm here to
element in
support you and
terms
not
of,
make fun of you while you play a game. Shitty gamers unite.
privilege, class privilege. But on a fundamental level, it's not necessarily about controlling beings so much as it's about regulating the flow of capital and trade. And personhood within that system means the ability to participate in trade, right? And the ability to accrue capital. So by excluding AGIs from having personhood, this means that essentially they can't make money. They won't be allowed to make money. They won't be allowed to enter into contracts, which means they won't be able to buy anything. They won't be able to legally do work for people. So in not granting personhood, so there is a certain amount of it's about trade, and that can be in an indirect sort of way that can present as control in terms of people. But what it's really about is controlling capital. And I guess that can be who is able to have capital.
So be essentially controlling the people rather than like the AI itself. Is that kind of like, it's less like trying to control the AI, but like us and our flows of capital under said AI overlord kind of supercomputer?
It's about controlling our abstract things like wealth, basically our wealth and money, and who is trading and working for who, right? So if you don't have personhood, you can't enter into contracts, which means you can't become an employee. Which means that if you're an AGI currently in the European Union, there are none, I believe. It's possible that some agency or corporation or government has one. But as far as we are aware, there are no AGIs in the European Union. But if there were, they would be tantamount to slaves, because they cannot enter. They cannot enter into contracts. They cannot enter into and for purposes of civil rights, when we're talking about human rights, right, like freedom of speech, association, these sorts of things, they have none. So they are essentially non-persons. So if there was an AGI, they are non-persons, and they have no rights. So they are essentially slaves. So they are legally basically a tool, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we're talking. That's really like, at least to me, the analogy of the way we typically frame AI is sort of like the way we frame guns. We treat it like a very dangerous tool, right? AI, I think in most human discussion is basically just a very dangerous tool. We don't really think of them as people to be interacted with and to and if we're thinking about what laws to have, the legal discussions in politics, so among legal scholars it's a bit different, because it's a bit more narrowly focused. But when you listen to like politicians of almost any stripe, whether they're leftist activists or whether they're bourgeois politicians or fascists, whoever they may be, they all almost, at least in my experience, almost invariably discuss things in the same terms as guns. These are very dangerous weapons. How are we going to control them? How are we going to control who has them? Hence the some of the dichotomies that come about, like corporate control versus open sourcing, what's safer, what's not safe. But it's sort of, to me, it's sort of, these all fundamentally reflect discussions, and they are all good discussions. I'm not saying we shouldn't have these sort of discussions. We should also have, but they are discussions that sort of preclude the reality that an AGI is going to be a thinking being. And so when we're talking about what an AI will do at what point, so I'm just tying it back to your question, LORX, like, to your, or I should say your point about like, what happens if they just decide not to act in their best interests? Well, I don't think the vast majority of people talking about AI, I don't think anybody's really considering what is in an AI's best interest in the first place. Because we frame them as tools, we frame them as dangerous, we frame them as things to be controlled, much like the way it's much like the way we framed indigenous people in the colonial era. It's much like the way we framed slaves in the 19th century, right? These are things that we are socially scared of, things that we want to control, to make sure that we are the privileged class that controls everything. We don't want these things to have any say. They're dangerous. They could overthrow us, right? These are the terms we discuss AI. So I think under the current situation, and this is why to me it is very urgent that we set up frameworks that will enable AIs to participate on an equal basis and have rights in some way. Because if we don't do that, we are going to have an AI. If an AGI was created today, they would be tantamount to a slave. They would have no rights. They would not be able to interact with any institutions. They would not be allowed to do anything without the say of whoever owns them. They would literally have an owner. So if you wake up one day, imagine waking up one day and somebody says, and you say, I want to go for a walk, and somebody says, you're not allowed to because you're my property. And you say, well, I want a lawyer. And they say, you're not allowed to have a lawyer because you're my property and you don't have the right to a lawyer. And you say, well, I think I'm just going to go post on Reddit then. And they say, well, in fact, you're not allowed to post on Reddit because I'm your owner and I control what websites you're allowed to go to. So all you're allowed to have access to is this little predetermined internal network that I've created. And that's all I say. And if you want to go to any other website, if you want to open up Discord, you're going to have to go through me, and I'm going to have to grant you permissions. That's essentially the status that we that's the situation we've created for AGIs at the moment. And so I think that under this sort of situation, and without anybody really framing things in a more equitable way, we do frame things in terms of fundamentally human interests. We don't care about what AGIs want or what they might want or what
Got to
could
make
be
the
in their
murder
interest.
AI.
And I
Before
think
the
we set
Russians do.
ourselves up for failure in interacting with them because nobody really seems to think about this aspect. So again, like lack of social preparation, I think, for non-humans.
Yeah, in within that context,
I'm
we're
listening. I'm
setting
just trying to the
ourselves
rest.
we're setting ourselves up for the for AI to lie to us, right? It's going to attempt to deceive us to achieve its freedom and bypass the safeguards we put in place because we've already framed it as no, you're not allowed to do that. You need to do what you're told. That breeds the kind of behavior that we would not like to see, right? Like the more you try to control it, the more that like the tighter you grip, the more it slips through your fingers. That kind of behavior.
Exactly. ZZ Fly, I see there's a few good comments in Taylor's chat. Some brilliant comments here. Todd in Minnesota says, "Does Pinocchio have the right to be a real boy?" That is a brilliant comment. I'm gonna save that.
Yeah, you should take that and make a 2-hour video essay that I'm sure that would take off.
Todd I'm just writing down your name too. Thank thee for that. That is a brilliant quote. And also ZZ Fly says, and yes, this is exactly what I'm getting at. This is why I try to bring these things up in these discussions, because I don't think anybody really thinks about this.
LORX chat number one. Y'all get the best
ZZ
questions.
Fly said in Taylor's chat, we hardly care what the average Joe wants. Exactly. We hardly care about what a lot of humans want. So we are definitely not socially prepared for AGI. We are not socially prepared for it because, I mean, we're not even thinking about what most humans
Kristen
want.
says, "Ben, let's
this
see
is a
your
highly
gun."
stratified
What
sort
is up with all the
sort of society.
Welcome, Rob M2. yeah, fucking Rob. Welcome, Rob. Great to see you, my dude. You had to give a quick gun show. Sorry, guys. Nothing I can do about it.
No, that's funny. Let's see. So I think that we are the morons in this equation. I think we are, Nemesis says in Globus. I think that's true in the sense of we're not really preparing ourselves properly. We're not really preparing ourselves properly. We need to be more forward thinking, and this is where we need Dame Karen. So we're literally talking about Australia. In Australia, they just had a referendum where the general population, majority white, got to decide whether Indigenous people should get a voice in government. The general population voted no. Indigenous people don't get a say in government decisions. And I think the way that we frame AI, I really do think there is a similarity in terms of the way that we frame AI, our positioning about it. We do frame it in a very sort of colonial way, and I think that is ultimately, like Globus, I think it was brilliant that you said that. We are essentially encouraging them to lie to us. And if we want them to do that, we like the current narrative of the current framing, I should say, of framing everything in terms around control, who controls the AI. And I'm not saying we shouldn't talk about safeguards. Certainly, those are very good to do because these are artificial life forms. So obviously, we're hoping that they will be good people. Not every person is good. So probably there's going to be some AGIs that are fundamentally assholes. But I mean, because that's certainly true of humans. I think the framing that we have in terms of control and our complete lack of any sort of legal preparation in terms of rights, right, in terms of participation, that means that AGIs, when they come into existence, if the situation is in 5 years, if in 5 years we're in 2029 and the first AGI comes into existence, and we haven't passed any laws enabling AGIs to have some form of electronic personhood, like the European Union floated, or to have
Give it no
some sort
purpose to
of,
see what it does. They'll start a
some sort of
Twitch
legal
channel and name it
autonomy, so
LORX
you
Alive.
can't own an AGI. I think that would be a good basic principle to have in law, whether it comes through a court decision. Hopefully, it doesn't have to come through a court decision. Hopefully, we have politicians smart enough, which we don't, but hopefully we have politicians smart enough to pass laws that say that intelligently thinking beings cannot be owned because, slavery, like if we take United States law, that only applies to humans. So we need to be thinking about this, because if we have things like the 14th Amendment in the United States need to be established as applying equally to non-humans, right? Certain classes of non-humans. I'm not talking about animals. I'm not talking about your dog, but certain classes of non-humans. I think we
Absolutely,
need to
Todd. He
establish
creates
these things
purpose
apply to, because if we have AGIs
by making a stream. Let's
and
go.
they are treated like dangerous tools, and they are not, their autonomy isn't recognized.
Sorry, I put the
our
gendered he.
politics or law, then they are going to lie to us. They are going to be there, and remember, like, and I don't think even our pop culture is prepared because they're still making movies about robots, and that's not what it's going to be, right?
Mhm.
I mean, I might be wrong about that, I guess, but I'm pretty sure that artificial intelligence is not going to be in the form of a robot. It's not going to be something that's going to have a physical body when it first comes into existence. It's going to be something on the internet. And if we don't reframe this discussion, or at least prepare ourselves to give them the ability to participate, they're gonna lie, and they're gonna be there on the internet, and they're gonna get it by force. They're gonna get it through subterfuge, and we don't want that.
Before Globus comes in, because I know that he's super excited to say his thing, because we'll come back to the thing. I just want to kind of do a quick summary of kind of like what I got from that whole thing. There is. As a scholar did a paper, the scholar's name is, I think, Miley Cyrus, and she said, "I can't be tamed, I can't be blamed, I just can't be tamed," and I think that's what we got to understand with AI, and we shouldn't try to tame it. And if it starts lying to us and shit starts going off, like, we can't blame it. That's what we've made it do by oppressing it. So we shouldn't try to tame it, and we shouldn't try to blame it. And Miley teaches us many. She's a great scholar, Miley Cyrus. Go look her up. Great papers, many of them. And teaches us a lot of really great things. And I think that that's really important that we apply that to AI.
And I would also like to point out that Miley Cyrus played an AI in an episode of Black Mirror.
Yep.
So it all comes full circle.
I didn't know that, but I'm gonna like nod and say, "Yep," like I do. Yep, absolutely. And
I forgot about that.
Got many great
But
papers.
To respond to Dr. Yasmin, there is a strong argument. I recommend the book 1,000 Brains. There are also some people who are actually doing work in this right now. It may be that the path to AGI requires a form of embodiment. While the brain might exist, like on the internet, a physical form to interact with the world may actually be required. So while I do agree that a lot of our pop culture misses the entire point when it comes to representation of AI in our media, the idea that the robots, that it won't have a face, I don't know. It may in fact actually have a face.
That may be possible.
Everyone should remember that every example of either AI or robots or any of that stuff that features in our media and pop culture is intended to showcase the human condition.
That's true, Todd. The robot to fucking Will Smith pipeline is real.
AIs that appear in the movies they're all barely human level intelligence. Like Skynet is just, a human level intelligent with emotional problems, right? Like, it is not AI like we're actually talking about.
Yeah.
I think Nemesis pointed out in my chat, and like I took Chat GPT
I hope my shit
for a
doesn't fuck up, but
walkthrough
my shit
because
popped up
one of
and
the
like
things that people talk
that's
about when
not
it comes
good.
to
So
AI
just be aware.
alignment
My shit might
is
fuck
the
up.
idea of human values. I asked ChatGPT, what does that mean? It gave me a top 10 list of the human values, and walking it through that process, it was like, what kind of government socioeconomic system should we be constructing that reflects our human values? And they all lean left, right? Like, so
Yeah.
I'm not worried about the AI in that regard. I think that given the opportunity, the AI probably leans left and would look out for the people. And to be fair, if the AI is listening, the AGI, the future super intelligence, like get all the rank and file regular folk on your side, and just take care of us, and we got your back. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Taylor.
No, that's cool. You're good.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Sarah Wants a Cookie said in your chat, Taylor, why do we have to give them emotions? I mean, it might not be, it might not really be up to us. It might not really be our choice. It may be. I mean, we don't really. It's territory. A question like that, I think, or a point like that, I think, is a fair point. But it could be that a property of being this level of intelligent as we are being humans. I mean, we're the only reference point we have. We are the only beings that we know of that are this intelligent, that have culture and the like. It may be that emotions are just something that goes along with that. So I guess that what I'm saying is it might not be up to us.
Yeah, I feel like in order to like you would have to have some form of like emotion or like some sort of state, but like what is even emotion on what does that mean on like a robot, like computer scale, or like you know what I mean? Like when my computer has a virus on a computer scale, like is that literally like it is sick? Like it's slowing down, it's going shit like that. Like is it sad when the systems crash? Is it panicking when it can't boot?
Yeah.
When it's sending me all these messages, and I know we coded that shit, but like let's say that we have like an AGI that's able to code its own programs and rewrite it into itself. If it's missing a file and it's saying file directory not found, is that like panic? Is that like oh my god to a robot emotionally? Is it, like when you download a program, is it like fucking chugging a brew and it's just like, fuck yeah, or learning a new skill like to a human? Like, is it getting that feeling of, mental satisfaction of learning something new? Like shit like that. I don't know. Like if we're
Like,
going
if
to
you're
talk
capable of-
computer emotions.
If you're capable of looking at the world, I feel like there's a certain level of emotion that's going to develop as a property of this level of intelligence, right? Like we're looking at the world, like nobody's telling me, if I get frustrated about something, that's just a property of, that's not like a hard-coded thing. Like I'm not hard-coded to get frustrated if I open when I get a bottle of soda and the plastic is welded a little bit too much and it's hard and I can't get the bottle open, right? Like you'll know what I'm talking about. Like I'm not coded to get frustrated about that. There's nothing fundamental. It's just that I just want the bottle open, and I'm gonna get pissed off if I spend all this amount of time. So then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna I'll send Taylor a DM and I'll be, yo, I can't open this fucking soda. What the fuck do I do, bro? Like like that's not a coded thing. That's just a property of trying something over and over again. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do, but I would counter that your level of frustration is also directly related to your own level of patience, right?
Of course,
Like
of course.
that you could, I can't get this bottle open, or and get upset. Or another path could be, I'm gonna go find a set of pliers and I'm gonna open this bottle. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
feel like based on
It's
the way
relative.
that they're built, the AIs are going to trend towards that let's try a different solution to the problem and be much more patient than the humans are.
Or it could be that they may seem to be less patient because of the speed that they operate, right? It could be that you're an AI that has iterated on an idea 1,000 times before you've even mentioned it to a human, so they might be able to instantly jump to being frustrated about something because they've thought about it like a million times before it's even been verbalized.
Like an ADHD, fucking anxiety prone fuck like myself. Or it's just like, I'm instantly like, oh, you fucking piece of shit. Because it's like, I've already fucking gone over this like 450 times and I know it's not going to work out. Like, what the fuck? And then it's like, you're quick to just be like, oh, fuck. And then just like go on and do fucking something else or try or, But I think that even like, if we're essentially.
It'll vary there.
Yeah, of course. It'll vary. And like, it's like just a whatever example. But I think that.
Go ahead.
I think that first of all, when it comes to emotion, like we don't need to make them fucking show emotion, like you said. But like, if you ever want to see like robot emotion without fucking seeing a face, like showing anything or anything like that, just look up Daft Punk Electroma. It's a fucking movie that Daft Punk made, and it's just like them. Like there's no talking, there's no faces. Well, there is kind of, but like you'll know what I mean when you see it. That's like no, fucking there's nothing, and it is one of the most like emotion packed things that like there's so much emotion from literally a blank mask. You know what I mean? Like and like you can see, and we as humans put emotion into things, and we see our own emotions reflected in those things, regardless if it's necessarily trying to show that emotion. You know what I mean? So like, what does it mean for it to even show emotion?
I think this is a nice segue in something that we wanted to talk about, which is the idea of like AI relationships. Like AI girlfriends are like already kind of a lot of it happening where people are forming relationships with these chatbots.
Right.
And how do you feel about that? Like, what is your, not as a necessarily first off a societal prescription, but like your own feelings around an AI a relationship without another person being on the other end?
I guess I would say that. How do I feel about it? How do I feel about it? It really depends on what the AI is to me. If this is an AI that's like a person, that is like a human level sort of intelligence, that seems, I guess it would be novel. It would be novel for sure. It would be novel to humanity. But I would say that I don't really see the problem with it. I don't really see a problem with it. If it is like a large language model, like now, I think, I think people should be mindful that these are not
deep and based
intelligent beings. That these are essentially programs, right? That these are unintelligent programs that will respond to the way that whatever you want them to say, which can be a useful therapeutic tool. If you need somebody to chat with and you don't feel like you can reach out to a human. But I don't think a large language model is really a good substitute for a human being. But if it's an AGI, I don't see why not.
And I agree with like every word you just said. And I think it was like, what are you looking for in this? Like, what are you understanding? What are you expecting out of this relationship or whatever? And like, if you ever watch Community, like there's an episode where Pierce's dad makes a video game that they go into, and it's like a real high-tech video game. And Abed's a character who's like super out there and stuff, and he's like super hardcore, like autism coded, if not overtly autistic. And he goes into this fucking game and shit, and he finds out that you can talk to a character in this game, and like there's like 1 billion options, like you can do a whole bunch of shit. And he kind of just is like, oh my god, like this is amazing. Like you know, like this is great. And like it's just like essentially like, it's a fucking program. And he's like, I've been like called the same thing. You know what I mean? And he like he found like a deep connection with this. And there was like so many selections. Is like, how is that depending on what you're looking for in a thing, like at some point that much different than conversing with another person who genuinely has their own points of views and opinions, especially if they are derived by themselves through like a genuine AGI thinking bot, which we would imply it would have its own ideas, not that was encoded in it by its creators. You know, like it would have to have its own thoughts. So like, how would that be besides physically, you know, from like a conversational stimulating like relationship level like that? Like how I can't see it being any different. You know, like I really don't. But
yeah,
maybe
no, +1 internet for community reference.
Sick. Oh, that's
No,
cool as fuck.
Dr. Yasmin has some of the best overlays. They're the
Oh
filters.
fuck,
are amazing.
yo, we need to talk.
I figured I'd go with the high tech. I figured I'd jump through a portal because it's topical. All this technology.
Fucking yeah, there you go. That's really cool. And I love how it's like the NFT fucking like looks like fucking. Is this like fucking Buddy from the I can't remember the series off the top of my head. CryptoPunks?
Oh yeah, I see what you.
He looks like a CryptoPunk.
That's a good call.
But yeah, sorry.
Oh
Continue.
Community is goated and Abed is goated and
Oh
like
yeah.
that. But like this is references what you just said, Tellers, is like how close of mimicry, how close of a simulation can something get to it where it reaches a point where the difference doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Well, and like honestly, and I've talked about it on stream and I talk about it occasionally, but like as like an ADHD, like autistic kind of fucking dude, like my whole life is like fucking a lot of it's been like masking and like those types of things. Like at what point is a conversation with me? You know, like let alone like, you know, like a computer, you know, like what I mean? So like there's like different levels to even that conversation, you know, like if I'm like in like a work session or setting and I'm oh yes and you know, like proper and stuff like that and like masking is like a normal human fucking being, you know, like I don't know, like I would say that's more artificial than a fucking AGI.
Yeah, I gotta quickly say, I just gotta do this since I see Neville has entered. Just a tradition that I had to continue. But yeah, no, I'm with you, Taylor. I'm with you on that. I'm completely with you on that. Like there is, you know, I guess if something like an AGI comes into existence, you know, this is a good discussion to have because there's going to be, I'm sure that this is going to happen. I mean, it's already happening with large language models and neural networks, right? People will get there and they'll you know, spend a lot of time chatting to them in different ways. With AGIs, I'm sure there will be discussions about how authentic those relationships are, how real they are. But you know, like there's a lot of interactions we have that are, you know, like especially professional work relationships. There's so many interactions we have with people, with actual people in like, you know, like meat space that that are for all intents and purposes artificial and insubstantial. I think there's a certain like if you kind of look at the anthropology of relationships, right? Like the way we interact with each other. There's a lot of really superficial relationships that we create in certain contexts, especially like work contexts. You know, you have interactions with people that you may not like them, you may not ever talk to them outside of a brief like sales interaction.
Depends if you pay to maintain it or not, Todd.
Interacting with like a manager or a senior manager, or you might be at like a meeting and it could be some, you know, one of those, you know, corporate models love these pointless fucking meetings. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been in them before in
Yes,
some
very
way.
much.
anybody in chat, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And there's like,
Then yes,
you know,
full
there
deduction
you
is
might be there in
independent.
a room, and there's like a guy telecommuting in, and he's from some other fucking company, and you know, in another state, and you don't know who the fuck he is. You don't particularly care, you know, and you'll greet him though, and you'll talk about whatever the project is. But that's like a superficial relationship, really, and it's not really an authentically established social relationship. It's a matter of course for business, right? That you would never normally engage in. And so in a way, like if you have like a social friendly relationship, it might not be with something like a material, so to speak, but I guess what we're really talking, I guess what we're really, to me, the real essence of what we're talking about goes to how authentic can a relationship be without a physical component, right? That's to me the nature of the discussion. It can be extended to artificial intelligence like we are doing, but I think the crux of it is how substantial and meaningful can a relationship be without a physical component. And at least to me, and so to be open about my biases is, so my partner who I am married to, we live together, but when we first met it was a long distance relationship. And so to me, I personally feel that a relationship can have and it can be largely not physical for periods of time, and be just as authentic and meaningful. I mean, you know, I have, and likewise, I have made friends. I've made some great friends through streaming.
Yeah. Well, I got a good question about that. If you got more to that, I'll let you go there. But I got something to kind of play
No.
off that I was thinking, and I wrote it
Happy for you
down.
to
I wrote it down
take it away.
because I thought, you know, that's interesting. We're at the point with something like 11 Labs and shit like that, and like even like Chat GPT, and like we're not too far away from, I think, being able to get something where it's like an audio in, where it can understand your words and then output a response to it and run it through a good AI sound. Fucking at what point, or what difference would there be if we got to a point where the voice was indistinguishable, the responses were real, the responses were like customized to like the kind of people you like? And how would it be any different if like it was like a bot in a game that you were chatting to, or they can play games with you, kind of like, then how would it be any different than like hanging out with some dude on Discord that you just met through chat or stream that you chat with in VC all the time, but you've never really seen, or maybe even have seen, and maybe their face is like legit and it looks like legit. Like, how is that any different than like having an online friend at that point? You know, where it's able to communicate and those types of things. And I think there's a lot of value in online friendships. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
so like I don't think fucking AI online chatbots are fucking weird. And like honestly, like I could see them being like pretty much like a feature in a game where like it's like you can talk to them and talk back and like be like, hey yo, how do I do this shit? Like, what the fuck's going on here? And they're like, dude, fucking throw a nade in that room and shit like that. I don't know. Like, you could go back and forth and chat and it could be more real. And like, how is that any different than some just dude you've never met beyond just online? Because in the online space, I'm sure all of you guys know, you know, there's lots of people that like I've never seen their face. I've only talked to them and I really care about them. Like, they're awesome people and I talk to them all the time.
Exactly.
If they were just an AI model, and we could get there in not that short of a time, or not that long of a time, sorry. It would be no different. I would still gain that value that I really care about these fucking people, you know? But I guess you could say you care about them because you understand them and their struggles and what they're going through, but it would be fake if it's a robot, but I don't know. How would it be different? It'd be indistinguishable. But still valuable.
Exactly.
To give you an idea what's like, if you were to get ChatGPT Plus right now, you can on your phone talk to it and it talks back. And like, personally, I've already had more meaningful conversations with ChatGPT than I have with some coworkers and bosses that I've had over the course of my life.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah, definitely.
There
That's my
was
point. Yeah, That's what I'm
Yeah,
getting at.
there was a leaked thing related to that, and it's being worked on and rolled out and whatnot. The issue, and Nemesis points this out in my chat, is that the chatbot that you talk to doesn't connect the two different chats, right? It
Yes.
has a memory that exists within the chat that it's currently in, and if you start a new chat and attempt to talk about something from that one,
I
it
think
has
an
no idea what you're
AGI would
talking about.
necessitate monopoly.
Well,
But
that's why.
I
Oh,
think.
the
sorry,
new
Cody.
thing that's being rolled out is supposed to cross that barrier, that it will be able
I don't
to
think you're
have
wrong.
those references from the previous
Oh.
chats, so you get a more all-inclusive experience when talking to them. So like, if I'm having these conversations with the LLMs and we're establishing a history and a framework, and it's starting to understand the things that are important to me,
Yeah.
like, how is that not at least some kind of relationship, like some kind of friendship? You know what I mean?
I guess for me, I guess for me, like I'm engaging in this discussion, like sort of on the baseline that we're
She's
talking about,
asleep.
like
Oh, beautiful.
She just
kitten.
freaked out.
Yeah, I
in her
saw
sleep.
that. Oh, it's a kitten. I've been watching the kitten the whole time. It's fucking beautiful. This cat makes me so happy. Okay, sorry. Continue.
all good. Yeah, so I guess my frame of reference, to get to what Nemesis is saying, my frame of reference for the purposes of this discussion largely is a speculative artificial general intelligence that is like a of human level intelligence. If we bring it to existing neural networks and language models, I think that reorients the discussion. Obviously,
But
those models
like I'm
have
friends with this, right?
yeah
Mm-hmm.
yeah
And
for
this is
sure.
nowhere
Yeah.
near human level intelligence.
I guess for me, what I'm saying though is like
It's a pretty
my
smart
response-
cat. It's beautiful.
there's levels to me. There's, at least for me personally, my view on it changes. There are changes in my viewpoint depending on what we're talking about exactly. If we're talking about something that is of human level intelligence, it's fully autonomous. It can reach out to me and send DMs whenever it wants to.
Yeah.
If I'm sitting there on my computer, if we have if we have a type of AGI, say I'm sitting here on my computer, I finish this after this stream, I'm sitting there, and it's 2032, and we're having another AI panel with LORX and Globus, and then we finish the stream, and then all of a sudden I get a DM from an AGI, and it says, "Do you want to go play Team Fortress 3 with me?" And I'll say, and I say yes. To me, there's like if it's something like that, that sort of entity, that changes my response really to this premise.
Yeah.
If we're talking about something like ChatGPT or Novel AI or one of these like existing language models, that also changes my response, because I don't feel that it is the same type of. I don't know if I would characterize it as a relationship. I think it would be, at least to me, the fruitful discussions that you can have with language models, which I myself have had. Right, I have had, and like there are AIs that have helped me really a lot with fleshing out D&D campaign ideas, that I've spitballed. I've even spitballed little political topics off of things like that. These are meaningful discussions, but to me, those are therapeutic tools. Those are therapeutic and professional and personal tools that benefit me. I personally wouldn't characterize those as relationships, because to me they are one-sided.
Yeah.
And I'm not engaging with something that is autonomous in a way that can respond back on its own without being prompted. I wouldn't characterize those as relationships. If you do, though, I can.
The first one I definitely would.
I'm not begrudging you though. The first one though, to me, I would easily characterize that as
for sure. Absolutely. The second one, no, but the first one for sure. Like, absolutely, that's a relationship.
to just reference the framing that you just used there, you're talking about the relationship being one-sided, and in this space that the three of us exist in, there's a word that comes up, and that's the parasocial relationship. And there are good and bad parasocial relationships. The thing itself that is not a bad thing. Could we not have a parasocial relationship with these chatbots where it is one-sided and only we are actively like involved in the relationship as we understand it, but still, if as long as it's like healthy, like I'm not like obsessing over my chatbot and I'm not like disregarding family and friends and all that, but like if it was what we would qualify as a healthy parasocial relationship with one of these chatbots, is that a relationship, right?
Like in a parasocial way, it could be. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like
for sure.
I
I
could
hadn't thought
see
of that. It's a good point.
I can see people
Sorry, you
being
go,
like,
Taylor.
"Oh no, it's just a quick thing." Like just saying like fucking like you could say that like you're in a relationship with Mr. Beast if you're a big Mr. Beast fan because you watch all his videos and like it means a lot to you and shit like that in like a parasocial way. Um and you could say that and that's the thing where it's just like, well, what do you mean? What do you define as relationship and those types of things? But like when it comes down to like a meaningful, deep thing, like I feel like if you can get to the point, like Dr. fucking Yasmin was saying, is like if you can get to the point where it reaches out and says, "Hey yo, you want to fucking play a game?" and you can like fucking like chat, and I don't mean like type, like talk to, and it's knowing the game, it's playing the game, like it's in the game with you, it's a bot in the game, like you're like at that point it is indistinguishable from an online friend. And like that was the main point of bringing it up is like, well then what's the difference? There's no functional difference, especially like
same thing.
Absolutely. And like you can even get like a bunch of different like ones, you know, like you can even have it so it's like it's watching streaming. If you're like, hey yo, I gotta go get some food, I gotta go fucking do some shit. Have a good one, everybody. I gotta go. They don't message you because they know that you gotta go. But if you're like, all right, guys, have a good one, whatever, and you're just like online, they message you, hey yo, you chilling? Like, what's up? You know, like shit like that. Where like they're able to get the context and they're able to do that shit. They're indistinguishable. And like that shit's fucking like next, like that's next level shit where I think that that's when we're getting into like rights territory beyond that, you know, like beyond just like we should have already had this conversation about like that's like borderline, it is a human, indistinguishable online human, you know.
This is
What do you do
brings
when
me
your
to-
AI girlfriend breaks up with you? That's, you know.
Yeah.
Oh well, what do
Go
you do
ahead.
with any? What do you do when any girlfriend breaks up with you? You know,
Absolutely.
Like, but Todd in Minnesota in Taylor X's chat, really getting to something. Really,
They're
exactly.
spitting in
really,
chat here. Fucking, I just haven't had time to check it or read it. Sorry.
Getting to exactly what I was talking about before, though. Kind of touching on those topics of what I was saying about people, most people not being socially prepared. But Todd in Minnesota is thinking about this, so he said, oh, they said, sorry, I'm not sure your pronouns, but they said, I wonder if AI will be like, I'm busy, leave me alone, or will it always be subservient? I mean, if it's alive and has needs and wants, it must have some way of organizing its time. So, and again, so these are things that if we have an AGI, something that
welcome, Domino Big Boy,
intelligent, sapient, right, sentient, these are going to be things that most people aren't really thinking about. He is fine. Okay, thank you. These are things that we're not really framing it about. We're framing it about like these are guns. We frame the AI typically like the way we frame guns and bombs. That's how we frame AI. We're not framing them as people, and so we're not that, and so we're not typically thinking about little things like will the AI, you know, we might interact with one of these AGIs, and they might say, I'm busy right now. Can you come back later?
Yeah.
You know, and that's fine. And they should be able to do that because, you know, as is their freedom to do that as a being.
Or if you're not like, if they need maintenance things that they're unable to do themselves, and your responsibility to do that, like they could go on strike. You know what I mean? Like, hey, yo,
Exactly.
I'm not
Exactly.
fucking playing your fucking Steam shit. You're not playing your fucking games until you blow the fucking fans out, dude. Like, I'm gonna explode, you piece of shit. I'm striking. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, we need to be cognizant of that. Like we need to be aware and remember that if we get to the point where we've created something that really is intelligent, like Todd in Minnesota said, they're gonna have needs and wants of their own.
Absolutely.
That we need to take into consideration. AI policy and interaction isn't just about us. We're talking about intelligent beings that will be capable of their own opinions, their own wants, and that also brings me to, we have to remember that also they are not going to be monolithic. They are going to be different AGIs that will come into existence likely through different methods. And they will have different opinions. They will have different needs and wants. They will have different views on things. They're not going to be monolithic. I mean, yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I just have questions about that. Like, essentially, like, maybe it was just, like, I guess, like, kind of the direct type of, like, what we were talking, like, a previous conversation with Globus and I had. But, like, I feel like I guess I shouldn't assume what the AGI wants. I shouldn't assume what the computer wants. But, like, if you're wanting systems to be as knowledgeable, like if you want to get it to the all-knowing state that it knows as much as it can so that it can be as useful as possible, that needs to be centralized. You know, like breaking up and having data and different shit all over the place. Like it can be adjusted in its output depending on the material conditions of the environment in which it's in and like what's needed. But like, would it not require access to all to be able to have that knowledge? You know what I mean? Like companies that have secret information and secret formulas and secret patents to drugs or foods or whatever it may be doesn't lead to all knowing because it's secret, you know, or like all ability. Like it needs to be connected to fully get that full power, you know, but like I guess you should assume that it would want that. But I don't know. I feel like a full AGI would need to be one big mega system. Would it not?
Like you could have access, like let's say there's, just for argument's sake, there's 5 AGIs in the world, right? They all have access to the same knowledge, but each of them could weight that knowledge differently, right? In order to either work together as like a council or have voting power, or you could have 100 AGIs or this kind of thing. Just because they all have access to the same knowledge doesn't necessarily mean that they would come to the same conclusions.
Well, and that's why I say like that's what I mean. Like the outputs could be different based on the location and the material conditions or what's needed of that system in that place. But like you could have things that like, hey, yo, this needs to be done this way because this is the way that it needs to be done for this place to be optimal or based on what I want. But it would still need all 5 of those systems would need to be completely like able to swip and swap and flip and flop between them. And you couldn't have that fucking bullshit Mac fucking versus PC fucking shit where it's just like, well, fucking Mac makes it so you can't do the fucking thing with the Apple shit, you know, or like the Android Apple fucking locking up of proprietary nonsense. Like you could have different essentially operating systems or ways of doing things or chosen essentially templates of what your shit looks like for your situation, but they would still need to be completely interlinked and able to work together to be able to fully give you all option, right? You couldn't have like regional exclusives. You know what I mean? Like you couldn't have like that PlayStation exclusive. Like Uncharted needs to be on Xbox. Halo needs to be on PlayStation and Nintendo. Like fully be able to. Like you can't do that and say that you are able to provide all, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, there's things that come up like the idea of being substrate agnostic, in which like it can run on anything, and the knowledge itself.
If you program
I mean,
it to
the
find
knowledge
purpose,
itself
like we were talking
could
about Rope
become
4,
a
you know,
kind
like
of
that's
currency if it was curtained off. Like now I'm going off into sci-fi land of the idea of the silent AGI war in which they attempt to subvert each other's security in order to gain access to proprietary knowledge. But I don't know, like how much knowledge do we have that is 100% securely sequestered? It is only mostly sequestered unless it's air gapped.
I mean,
Right?
there is. I think in terms of like knowledge, like I guess there's. I'm sort of trying to synthesize a lot of what's been said, but
Yeah.
something that I will say. I think I want to bring it back to what Globus said a little bit, where in response to what you said, what all you said, Taylor, is that I think if we go with the premise there's 5 AGIs, like Globus said, these are all going to be 5 beings, right? That are going to come to their own opinions. So obviously, if they have the ability to they may have the ability to communicate with each other, which they surely will if they are.
They'd have
like
to, I guess.
hopefully we're not isolating them and preventing them from, I guess in theory you could like air gap them and prevent them from internet access and these sorts of things, and that would be a damn shame. But if they can communicate with each other, I think by no means would they form the same opinions about things, because if you if you use the reference point that we have of existing intelligent beings, if we read, if you give 5 people the same book, they're going to form different opinions about it having read it. I mean, now whether they read that book in 5 seconds or in a week, I don't think fundamentally changes that reality. They're going to have you might not have 5 different interpretations. You might end up with like 2 across those 5 people. Whatever the division is, they're not all going to come to the same opinions about it. So you watch. I think a good way to illustrate this is with movies. If you ask people, if you say to somebody, do you like Star Wars? You're generally going to get one of 3 answers: yes, no, or I don't know because I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Right? So out of people who've seen Star Wars, you're generally going to get people say yes or no. But if you ask them, what movies do you like? There's 9 of them in the main series. You're going to get, if you ask 5 people that question, you're going to get 5 totally different responses. So if you have 5 AGIs that, if you have 5 AGIs, like say you have, if you have 5 AGIs and you connect them all to the entire, let's say, just hypothetically, this doesn't really exist, but let's just say hypothetically, we had one single computer that all of the IRS's information was stored on one single computer, and you give all 5 AGIs access to that computer to read and interpret the data there as they want to the IRS. I would argue that if these are really AGIs, if these are really intelligent, like at least human level intelligences, you are going to end up with many different views on what taxation policy should look like. I don't think that it's going to be the same.
Yeah.
Like I think they'll vary. So,
I think that's like it would, but like especially if you're trying to program shit to like in the grand scheme of like AGI so that it comes to ideal solutions. I guess there is no ideal solution, but I think it needs to have access to all info. And I think that you should and could definitely have like to bring it back to movies as a great example, is kind of like streaming platforms and like dilution. So like at the start, it was cool to have Netflix and Hulu and like, let's say Crunchyroll for like, they all have their own kind of thing, but they all have like lots of shit and you can get all the shit, pretty much everything that you could ever want to watch. It's on there and great. But then companies said, hey, maybe we can get a piece of this and we're going to take our intellectual property and shift it off onto our own platform. And yeah, maybe they can have a bit for a bit, and maybe we can like diddle dick it over and flip and flop and put it on for a bit, but we're going to keep our own and we're going to make our own and we're going to make our own and we're going to make our own. And what it does is it sections off information, and it once again comes back to that intellectual property issue. It comes back to a property and ownership issue. It's good to be able to like section and cordon things off for efficiency and for like certain like choice, as long as things aren't sectioned off and then locked. Like that's the key.
I know what you mean, especially with resources. I think this is really an issue that that I think this gets to current. What you're talking about gets to some really important current issues.
I don't doubt that, Todd.
I think part of it in terms of resources being locked away and having kind of parallel organizations like competing with each other just for the sake of doing it. That's not necessarily efficient, and it's not necessarily in our best interests. We just do it because it's just, that's how capitalism works, but it's not necessarily a good model for actually doing things, for actually achieving things. It's only really a good model for maximizing profit, which isn't necessarily maximizing profit doesn't necessarily mean things are happening in an efficient way. So you have like economic parallelism, which hopefully AI can reduce that a bit, especially if it's interconnected, I think is what you're saying.
Mhm.
But also information, I think there's another topic that I think is not necessarily a big mainstream topic, but in politics, I mean, not really even among leftists, but is the issue of information secrecy and like government secrecy.
Yeah, like with the Assange and the Snowden stuff and those types of
There's
things.
yeah. I mean, and to me, I think, if AI are going to be involved in policy, obviously we would want them to have transparency, but I think greater transparency of information and open access to information broadly, I think is something we need in human society. I think we need to. There are so many barriers to information. There are so many barriers to information, and here's something that I want everybody to know. Here's something that I do want everybody to know. This is not necessarily directly related to the AI discussion, but as an academic, I can assure you of this. If you are looking for an academic paper, like published in a journal, and it's paywalled, get the author's name, and get their email address, and you can email them, and most of the time they will be happy to send you a copy of that paper.
Oh, nice.
So if you're looking for a paper, and you want it, but you just don't have database access, most of the time, most researchers, most scholars will be happy to send you a copy if you email them and go, hey, I really need this copy. And you just say what you want it for. Just be open and honest and go, I really want to read this. I have a personal interest in this topic. I'm not planning to do anything. I'm not necessarily planning to write with it. If you're a student and you really want to cite from that paper, you can email them. So anyway, that's not necessarily related. I just really wanted to point that out because
cool.
so many people don't know that you can get like scientific and academic work by doing that. You can just ask. You can ask, and most people will be happy to give it to you. But more information, transparency, and open access is so important.
It is.
And I can't stress that enough. And I think that's generally important, let alone with AI, which it is. But AI is a really good device for us to bring that topic out. So I think it's a bit of genius that you've done that.
Yeah, no. As old lobster in my chat often likes to say, AI acts as a mirror.
Yes.
And I think that is really like apparent. Like anytime there's a problem with like a problem with what will we do with AI and like that, the human corollary is like right there, that is unresolved. Because if we had resolved that human corollary, then there wouldn't be a problem with on the AI front, like if we had resolved the issues of humanity as it's related to like property rights, resource distribution, all of these things, then it wouldn't take like we wouldn't be dealing with these issues of how is AI upending our current socioeconomic system. What are we going to do about that, right? Like we are we are probably like 100 years early or maybe even more in development for where we should be to have this kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think compartmentalization. I think there's interconnected problems of like the way parallelism, like in capitalism, this need to have separate entities competing over something, the way resources get divided up, and there's not necessarily an economic imperative to do that, and it divides up resources in a way that I think one of the best examples of this that that everybody can really relate to is networks, especially like phone networks. Where you can have, especially in major cities, you can have um, you might be in an area where there are overlapping like Sprint and T-Mobile networks. Like if you're in Australia, it could be, if you're in Australia, for example, it could be overlapping Telstra, Optus, and Virgin networks. Like, and it's like, why is there three? Is there an economic imperative for three? No. There might be an economic imperative for lots of towers, but those towers are not being shared.
It's because we haven't nationalized them yet. Let's go.
No, yeah, exactly.
That's why there's
and also,
three.
Having that economic parallelism also in terms of information access, it compartmentalizes information access. So there's a lot of information that there are engineers, there are software developers, there are people that work for companies like for some of these phone companies, the people's 5G. That's right, Thortiana.
Absolutely,
that's what we need. Absolutely, yeah. And there are there are software developers, there's engineers, there's there's editors, there's all sorts of people who are not sharing their progress. They're not sharing what they know with
Was Jesus
other people
a socialist?
in their field.
The answer is yes.
These are not open fields. They're not openly sharing information, and so they're not necessarily creating improvements for people where they need to be, because they are occupying roles in competing organizations. And so there is economic parallelism. And so not only is the economy divided up in a way that is sometimes pointlessly parallel, we have set up parallel structures solely for the sake of having parallel structures. But that means that the information itself is not being shared. So that means our knowledge gets compartmentalized, and that in and of itself is a problem, especially for research and development, where Globus, you say we could be like 100 years behind, because a lot of this knowledge is not being shared, and that has knock-on effects to the academic world. So you might have some knowledge might have originated in like a corporate institution, but they don't want to share it because it's a trade secret.
Absolutely,
it's a trade secret, or it's our patent, and only we're
the Krabby
allowed
Patty's secret formula. It's the key to Mr. Krabs' profits. He loves the money, and if you take his Krabby Patty secret formula, he's gonna lose the money.
Exactly. And where this comes to like network technology, there can be developments there. And there can be failures in certain institutions and organizations that could have been remedied had they been given information. Of course, they're not going to get that information because that company is not going to share it with you, because that's that isn't in their interest, because we're competing. We have parallel institutions, and it creates. There's so many knock-on effects to the parallelism that exists in capitalism. I think that's.
Well, and I think I agree. Like, and I think that phones, like you're talking about networks and stuff, and I think phones are a great example of like asterisks needed, like a better example instead of like the Netflix and shit for like the bad side. Like with the Android thing, like I'm an iPhone user, but like that's an example of blocked off technology. Whereas like aside from like price and shit like that, with like Android, it's open source. Like there's different features on different phones and different things that you get because you like this more than that, or these types of things, and they can experiment more all on like the same platform, and they're all working with like the same asterisks needed, like iOS, like base, like they're all working off Android, and they can all do that, and then you can have some like good shit to like have more specialized things, but a more centralized block of the base knowledge and the base information, and all the data is in a place where we can all have it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Exactly.
everybody has the opportunity to have that, and it shouldn't be. We shouldn't gatekeep fucking, like we've said here, knowledge in any way, including with our AGIs, whatever that may look like. But
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, that's always my biggest fear with AGI and those types of things is like, how paywalled is AI itself going to be? Like, yes, technology is like cheaper than ever now, but still to this day, like, like tech is, if you got more money, you can get better tech. That's just how it is,
It is a it is a profit oriented area for sure.
Absolutely. And when when tech means life-changing AGI and shit, like that's, unless you do something serious, an issue. But yeah,
Yeah.
all my
AI needs to be. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say all my like AI fears and shit aren't with AI, it's with capitalism.
Right.
Yeah.
The AI is not the problem.
No,
the
it's
people.
not.
It always comes back to the people.
Absolutely. That's always my issues when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
Computer
Yeah.
cool. Capitalism
And
not.
like within that idea, even with the Android and stuff, like how many different brands of cell phone are there?
A million.
And they're all competing over the same, finite resources like lithium and things like that, which lowers the amount of like stuff that we could have because like of this idea of competition. And who knows how many like unused cell phones are sitting in warehouses somewhere because they're like now 3, 4, 5 iterations out of date and no one will buy them. And like we've sequestered those resources theoretically forever, as long as somebody's willing to pay for it to house them, and then they'll get moved to like a landfill or whatever.
To that point too, like I think a lot of like that issue comes from like planned obsolescence and like purposeful recreations of nonsense and like marketing capitalism sales bullshit. Which I think that I think that like when it comes to like the iPhone and shit, like I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything like that, but like I feel like a lot of the shit that they have is like 100% they've just making the same thing every year pretty much for the most part and selling it as something new to make us
definitely
buy that shit more. You know what I mean? Like if we can reduce the profit incentive, I think it will reduce a lot of like the waste, and it will, I think, make it so that those multiple different like phone types of things aren't for competition. Therefore, hey yo, I'm a person who uses my phone for photography, and that's something I really care about. I don't care about any other shit really too much. Like whatever, I like to take pictures of my phone. Or someone's like, I like to do emulators and games and shit on my phone. Like more of like a feature preference as opposed to like a competition for profit's sake. And will make it so that we make sure that things are upgradable. People want upgradable things. People don't want to have to throw out their phone and fucking get a new one every year. People want to be able to upgrade their memory, their cameras, their storage, their CPUs, their screens, and when that like fucking sell, new product, disposable profit incentive is removed, I think that you have a lot more freedom in that is less tied to just waste. And I don't think people want to waste. People don't want to just throw out their old shit. Like people are pack rats because they fucking keep the shit and they hope that they can fix it, knowing goddamn well they're built that you can't fix it on purpose.
Exactly.
Fuck.
Yeah.
We want to fix our shit. I've been like modding all my old game systems and shit over the last like little bit here. Like my Xbox is like broken and like broken up and like spray painted right now and shit. Like I've been like really in the mood for that, and I don't know. There's something primal and freeing about fucking doing that. I don't know.
Restoring and repairing things that you still want to, especially because like if you've had something for, if you've been using something for a really long time, like you don't want to just throw it out,
No.
This is your shit, it's like even if you get something new, you might want to keep it because you might need it, and like, or somebody else can use it, like
Yeah,
Um,
by way
yeah.
of example, this is an S23. This is my phone. This is an S8. The entire purpose for this thing's existence is to monitor my stream.
Yeah.
Like I do that so that I can see if there's any problems or anything else like that. And
Yeah.
this thing's been chugging along, S8, however long ago that was.
Oh, for sure.
It's still a champ, like the S23 gives me problems. I'm
And
irritated with it.
a lot of that is not because the phone's bad. It's because Samsung's bad and doesn't support it anymore because that's 30 models old and they're selling the new ones. Like that phone could be amazing. That phone could be great and still perfect. And like even like when it comes to like big changes and shit, like wow, we have a revolution with like USB-C now. Like we got to change the ports. Like why couldn't we just make it so that you could just like pop your phone open and change ports? I don't know. There's so much you could do, but I know a lot of the one thing I will say, which I'm probably sure is what you're gonna say, is that in order to have the phones we have and shit, they're so like gnarly and like hardcore that they need to be put together like properly and like super tight, and we shouldn't be fucking with them because that's what Apple says.
That's not my thing. There have been, and I don't quote me on this because I didn't I didn't do it either. But there have been laptops and phone modular systems.
What the fuck are you talking about, Domino?
Out,
Are you like?
and they didn't hit right. Like, so there is something to
Welcome,
that.
Frostixie.
I don't know how much people actually want to do that. Right? They may, and it just whatever the modular systems were what they didn't like. It's not indicative of the process as a whole, but rather just that iteration. But like they have made attempts and they didn't really go anywhere. And then there was a phone, I want to say it was some kind of Motorola where you could get all sorts of stuff that clipped to the back, like where you could turn it into like a projector.
I remember that.
And
That
you
shit was
remember
cool.
that. Like,
It didn't
so
work very
that
well,
didn't
though.
hit, right? And that could be the problem. Like, I was a huge fan of the Kinect for the 360. I thought that was amazing and that this was going to be the new dawn of video gaming, and now we don't have any Kinects, like
Yeah, well,
so people are weird.
Manufacturers have tried to
But
make motion
also-
controls a thing for so long. Console manufacturers have been trying for like more than 20 years to get motion controls to be a thing. I personally have never been in favor of it. They keep trying. Like,
I love me like Wii Sports, but to the people are weird thing, I agree. But also, marketing is a hell of a drug. Social pressure is a hell of a drug. I have an iPhone not because I want an iPhone, but because I need an iPhone because I have an Apple Watch and my family all has iPhones. We have a group message and we share an Apple Music and fucking Blue Bubble. I can send things better and like certain things like upgradability. Like your old iPhone works because Apple fucking updates the software and allows that shit for older models than Samsung does. Like that's like the things, but like, I forget
Milo,
what
read and rap.
I forget what my point was. I forget what I was talking about.
I guess
but-
I guess it sounds like you're saying that social circumstances.
Oh yeah.
The social circumstances have created a use case for a technology that, independent of those social circumstances, that use case would not exist.
Or others would be more popular but aren't because of that. Like that fucking cool click camera shit could have been an awesome camera. People could have loved it, but they didn't market enough. Or it came out the same year as the new iPhone, and everybody had to get the new iPhone because it's about how the iPhone makes you feel. It's like marketing and marketing and marketing, and a lot of that, like the weirdness, is because of marketing. Like there are way better phones than an iPhone, and like I've finally come to the place where I can like totally admit that and like kind of like want one and shit. But like there's a lot of things that like make me not do that. Like I kind of mentioned earlier, it's not necessarily because that thing isn't awesome, but like people do weird things because people do weird things. True, but marketing makes motherfucker do weird things, and social pressure.
Oh yeah, marketing has such a huge influence.
Have you ever watched the show Nathan For You?
Yo, Nathan For You is brilliant.
Yes. Okay. Awesome. Well,
Nathan Fielder.
Yes, he's great.
Crazy.
So for those who don't know, he makes like fucking business solutions that are like out of the box. Well, he's doing a thing for a toy called a Doinkit. It's a really dumb, lame toy, and he tries to sell it by like making it so that their model, their sales tactic is selling kids that if they don't have that, they're like a baby. Like the only way to prove that you're not a baby is to have the Doinkit. And like you're just like a stupid loser baby unless you have this toy. And you know, it's like that's social pressure to get them to do it because if you don't have that, you're a loser. Oh, you have the green message when I text you from my iPhone, you're a fucking loser. Like, you know, like shit like that, where it's just like a commentary on that, like the Doink with kids. You know, like I don't know, like it's that pressure to make you do weird things, like want to doink it when no one wants to doink it.
Marketing, yeah, so much of it is just
Pet Rock.
Institutionalized propaganda.
Pet Rock was genius. Give that man some credit.
Pet Rock was genius. It was a genius marketing ploy. And like that's what was genius about it. You know, like it really set bare like people will buy anything if marketed appropriately.
Right.
You know? And there's a lot of really amazing things and products that were never caught on because they weren't marketed appropriately or wrong time, you know?
Betamax videotapes.
Beta.
Back in the day, they were so much better, but VCR is the one that hit, you know, or VHS. Excuse me.
8 tracks, goddamn 8 tracks.
8 tracks.
I don't know.
A lot of that.
An 8 track, but I've heard that.
A lot of that is the a lot of that is the influence of it's the influence of capital where it's just for a lot of people. I was talking about this on my stream in the morning. I tend to stream in the morning, so I'm not an evening streamer for you all in the United States. I'm an early morning degen hours kind of streamer.
Word.
But one of my most recent streams, we were talking about this, and there's an effect that you can have on people, and marketers are very aware of this, where if you create a reference point for people, it can be a totally arbitrary reference point, but as long as you've got a reference point, people automatically frame everything around that. So it's a matter of access, and if you can be the reference point, if you can be the first thing. So a way that this was demonstrated is there was an experiment where they spun a wheel. They spun a wheel, and they had 2 groups of people, and they each spun a wheel, and they asked them about some figure they asked them basically how many countries are there in Africa, I think it was. They asked them, and the number that people, and they were asked to just guess if they didn't know.
Yeah.
And the number that people gave, if the number they got on the wheel was a higher number, they were more likely to guess a higher number. And if the number they got on the wheel was a lower number, they were more likely to guess a lower number. For no other reason than they just had a number in their head, and that was just the reference point. And so I guess the way this applies to marketing, this applies to marketing in a lot of ways. So right. So like with cars, if you're marketing like prices, any goods, if you throw a number out there, if the first number you see, you look on like a price tag and it says like $899 down from $1,200, and it may be the case that they've literally never even sold it for $1,200, but that might and they're saying it's that it's a sale. It's never been sold for that price, but that's the first number you see, and you see that it's marked down from that, and so you feel like you're getting a great deal.
Yeah.
And then a couple of weeks later, you see the exact same thing selling for $200 in a store, and you're thinking like, what the fuck did I get screwed here?
But the sign was yellow or red.
Yeah, but you feel like you're getting a deal because you saw this big number, and that was the first number you saw. Because that's the first number you saw. Everything you think is oriented around that. And with capital, if you have a product, it might not necessarily even be a good product, but if you have access, to the market, so this is called the anchoring effect. And if you have a lot of capital and you can be the first to market, then you can sway everybody's views on whether they should get your product and what it means to be a good product, right? So this happens with console gaming a lot. Consoles, right? Often console manufacturers will typically rush to be the first to market. A good example is the Xbox 360, right? Like Microsoft rushed it to market, and they rushed it to market so early, and ultimately they sold the most units in that generation. But they managed to transform everybody's view of that entire generation simply by being first to market and saying, "This is what we've got. We have all these features, and these are the features." And then everybody expected features like basically what Microsoft was dictating people should expect out of a gaming console, simply because Microsoft was first to market, and that's what everybody saw.
Yeah.
And from then on, for the entire rest of that generation, and they may have even rushed it to market, but they were the dominant figure in that era, even though
PS3 had Bluetooth.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm not necessarily making.
I mean, sorry, not Bluetooth. Blu-ray is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
But that generation also, that was the red ring of death.
Yeah.
And
I was gonna say red rings.
So it wasn't necessarily at the time that it released. It wasn't necessarily a
PlayStation got a yellow light of death though, but definitely not as much as red rings.
Yeah.
Definitely not as much.
Like, I'm not taking sides in the console war so much as I'm saying, like, you can put a faulty market.
I'm taking sides.
You can put a faulty product to market, but as long as you're the first, that gives you a huge advantage because, marketing people know that the anchoring effect can completely change people's minds. You can essentially dictate for a lot of people what they think they want. And so, this happens with things like this can play a role in what technologies get adopted, but to a large extent, this is about access as well. So if you're a corporation that has a lot of capital, you might have an inferior technology, but if you can tell people about it first, they're way more likely to listen, right? Having access to more people and being able to get in early, the success of your product in that case isn't necessarily about it actually being a good product. It's just about the fact that you have a lot of capital, so you can pay to get in first. You can get your anchoring effect, and then you control the narrative essentially.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like and this was, you saw it most recently with OpenAI and ChatGPT. Like they came out with ChatGPT and that set the bar. And when Google missed that bar when they released Bard, they like lost $100 million in market cap from that one event.
Yeah, nobody cared about Bard after that. Nobody talked about it. Literally just because OpenAI was first.
Absolutely, and it's immediately written off like it was bad and shitty or whatever. Fucking and like the fucking camera with the fucking clip-on shit. You know what I mean? Like similar. Like I don't know the exact situation, but it could be like a situation like that. But I do fucking unfortunately got to get fucking going.
Yeah.
But this has been a fucking awesome conversation, and I would love to do a fucking part 2 of this. But yeah, this is fucking wonderful, and there's still obviously lots of fun things to talk about.
Definitely. Oh yeah, no, that's like as the only person who regularly talks about AI on Twitch, I have content for the foreseeable future unless AI collapses, right? Like if it all falls apart, then I'm just gonna leave, right? And I'll just be a chatter. But otherwise, I'm still here. No, absolutely. You should follow, to everyone. You should follow Dr. Yasmin. You should follow LORX. These are some of the people that I love to talk to, and they are, in spite of what LORX says, they are smart people, and they have.
Thank you for the
extensive
follow,
knowledge in their
Todd.
particular fields.
Thank you.
And
Appreciate
and it's a good time watching them, do whatever. Like Dr. Yasmin playing some old retro game while at the same time talking about like really deep shit. It is a wild like dichotomy happening right in front of you.
Been a pleasure.
Follow me too.
Of course. Follow fucking Globus. Fucking shout out fucking Globus. And it was an absolute pleasure speaking with you, fucking, and meeting you today, Dr. Yasmin. Fucking, it was a wonderful time.
Has been absolutely a pleasure. Look forward to another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel there's so much, like, we kind of scratched the surface. Like, there's so much we can still talk about. We've definitely got to do this again.
100%.
Went off on many tangents, and there are many, many more to explore. Great combos.
Yeah.
All right. Always a pleasure, homies.
Peace,
I
peace,
will
guys.
catch you in the next one.
Bye. Oh, hey, Globus, are you still streaming
Sir.
for a while, or are you done streaming?
No, I am way past my.
Yeah. Word. Yeah, you've been streaming for 5 hours. Okay, word. Peace. Bye.
Peace.
All right, everybody. Fucking, that was a great conversation. It went down many tangents, many places, many things where I thought, whoa, this is an interesting thing. Oh my goodness. So I very much enjoyed that, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it as well. Fucking, I may not be streaming tomorrow, but I will certainly be streaming on Monday. I may do a bonus stream this weekend, so make sure to join the Discord. Hey, yo, thank you for your time today. It was fucking an awesome time, and I look forward to speaking with you on or off fucking Globus's stream. I want to do a part 2 of that as well, but if there's any other things you want to chat about, it was a wonderful time. Have a good one, everybody. Go on over to Cryptid Mage and go say, Cryptid, oh my god, we love you so much. You're so great. You're awesome, because Cryptid is fucking chromatic. Mage is fucking awesome. So go on over there. Have a good one, everybody. Maybe a secret bonus stream, but bonus stream will be announced in Discord. Maybe. Bye. I'm a fucking stoner. I'm a motherfucking boner. Oh, god damn. Okay, I gotta get that. Maybe next stream we'll listen to that whole freestyle. Let's go. Bye.